Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Making sure everything's looking great. Everything's still fine. Not much to report on right now. Got home from work and all that. Let's see. I have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that we could look at. I couldn't really find much of anything that's actually worth it. But as long as I can comment on them, we should be okay. Unless, of course, any of you guys have any requests, if anything. Let's see. I know, I'm kind of just scrolling through YouTube homepage in order to see if there's anything else interesting that we could take a look at. I was about to say take. No, take a look at. I mean, there is Steam's $900 million lawsuit that could change gaming forever. Oh, you didn't sleep that well? Yeah, I get that too. Now, we could actually look at this. Because I remember videos about this lawsuit with Steam several days ago. I don't remember how long it was ago. It was either last week or it was the week before that, where I saw... Apologies for the glitching out. It's not even glitching. I'm just too far away from the phone camera, but I remember seeing something about that. 3 in the morning after a nightmare. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I don't get very many nightmares in all honesty, but the ones I do get, they usually involve bees or wasps or other stinking insects. I think the last quote-unquote nightmare I had is out in the neighborhood. I was walking in the neighborhood and there were just bees everywhere. Literally, you could barely move a step without bees being there. And I was just like, I can't exactly remember what happened in that, other than it seemed seemingly hard to breathe. I don't know. But that was the last quote-unquote nightmare that I've had. Even so, such ones are fairly tame compared to some others that others might get. I mean, I did wake up to one of my more... I don't even remember what it is that I dreamt about earlier. I was... Lord of mercy, I can't remember. You don't get many of them. The internet went down temporarily. Okay. Is everything good on your end? The internet on my laptop accidentally went down, it seems, for a moment. I'm sure it's probably just buffering on your guys' end. I'm sure everything is fine now. Because I know there's like a delay between when you guys actually get the footage and then when you guys leave a message. So connected to YouTube chat successfully. You can see it down here in the corner. Right over there, around the corner over there, and I'm not... Because... Yeah, I was about to segue into a Boondocks quote, but I decided it might be a bit too much. I wanted to talk about... No, something that will happen is that I will have one of my more, I guess, usual dreams where I'm either at some place that I've never been to, yet is also familiar at the same time, and then I wake up and it's like, I wonder if I could continue that dream. And so, I tried to continue, I fall back asleep, only to find out that I can't fall back asleep, because the dream might have been a bit too active. Yeah, I think I might have woken up at, like, noon, and... No, I thought it was, like, 1, but it was only, like, maybe noon or 11 at best. I'm trying to remember what my dream was about. I think it was another one of those dreams where I'm at some place that's familiar, yet I've never been there. And I think we were talking about something. I can't exactly remember, but, you know, if you've ever had any of those types of dreams where they're vivid enough that when you wake up, you have trouble falling back asleep. Not a nightmare, just something vivid. Because I know that that could happen. I don't really know the science of how it affects sleep. I just know that y'all get... Well, I did get sleep, but Brett had a nightmare and he couldn't fall back asleep. About places that are not real. It's not that they're not real, it's just they seem familiar. I mean, there was... I think I made mention of this one dream I had where I was in a building that had this triangular hallway in it. And according to my mom, it's a real place. It was a school that I think my older sister may have attended back when we lived in Texas. At first I thought I made it up, but then that same exact hallway appeared again in another dream, like, I don't know how long after that, not too long after that, and I was like, huh, how did I dream up the same exact place once again? And then I told my mom about it. I was like, oh, that's a school that we used to go to. I was like, yeah, and I hadn't been in Texas since I was 4. I don't know how long ago that would have been, but certainly it's something. I mean, my oldest memories are obviously from, like, mainly back when I was 4. I don't exactly know how far it goes back, other than I do remember turning 5, but that's about it. To the point to where I asked my dad, I was like, am I 4 still? And he said, no, you're 5. And so it's like, I guess my oldest memories go back to when I was 4, but that's about it. I don't really have anything else to talk about now, unless you guys have some things. I mean, I don't have too many well, I've got quite a few videos. They're all, like, relatively short-ish. They're, like, between 10... Most of them are on average, like, 10 to 15 minutes, although there is this one video that's 22 minutes that I would like to look at. But you dreamt that you were in your hometown, you were going out the country, it was like, past it had a railway crossing. Well, maybe if you go there, you could find that same railroad crossing. Let's see. How one rock almost poisoned the entire planet and its asbestos. Okay, let's see. I think the first thing that we can look at just you don't ever dream. They aren't usually good. Not usually good as in bad dreams, or not usually good as in not very memorable, because I think that's a difference. The thing is, the dream that I had earlier, before I woke up today, would have been considered something memorable. I was definitely engaged, to say the least, but I can't remember it right now. There are some other dreams that are quote-unquote memorable, but I can't really remember them all that much. But of course, a lot of my dreams, some of them tend to be rather bizarre. I think I've made mention of a few bizarre dreams that I've had, and then I've also had dreams that are relatively prophetic, that have manifested in real life in some way. I think I've made mention of at least 1 or 2 of them on stream. I can't exactly remember, but, you know, maybe I could talk about them another time. A friend you knew he was playing at your house and there was an earthquake. Jishi. Oh, well then. But either way, I don't... As in bad... You've been getting dreams on physically harming people and doing drugs. I'm sorry that you have those kinds of dreams. Hopefully they never come true. I mean, that's the thing about dreams. They say if you continue to do this and do that, all your... Like this, continue wishing, Flapjack, and all your dreams will come true. And then Flapjack is all like, even the bad ones? And then the Sky Maid, not the mermaid, but the Sky Maid is all like, yes. So yeah, hopefully those dreams never come true. But yeah, but my dreams are fairly standard. But even I have had some very profound ones in the past. That's all I can really say for certain. But let's see. I don't really have anything else to talk about right now, unless if anyone has any video requests, I'm always down for something like that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so we can look at this one by Atozy first at the very least. All right, here, let me move on over real quick. Something about Steam facing $900 million lawsuit that could change gaming forever. Which, yes, I mentioned it a little earlier, but I don't know. I don't actually know. You got some video ideas, depends on what I want. We could probably figure something out. We can figure something out over time, but I do remember something about, who was it? The UK wanting to sue Steam for allegedly having a monopoly on games, and yeah. I was thinking about looking up when oh, yes, I think I remember that. Yes, Lisa saving a raccoon. Yes, and like I said, it was me. Because mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the handsomest of them all? Except Pharaoh. This is ancient Egypt. The mirror hasn't been invented yet. Oh, but it was a rhetorical question. I already know that it's me, and I was the handsomest Pharaoh that was saved. Beating Minecraft without moving. Okay, that actually sounds like fun. Here, we could type that in. Because I'm pretty sure that is more than possible. No, like this. While jorking it is the second thing that pops out. That pops up. Lisa is my hero. Real Seed. I'm guessing it's this top one by Iliotex. Beating Minecraft without moving. Real Seed. It's not clickbait, so just trust me. And then there's like... And then there's like this one that's like no left click, no armor, and limited movement. And then one about without moving. Because this looks like a job for me. Okay, the one on top. Alright, we'll look at that. Probably after this. I am curious to see what's actually... The mirror was invented like 8,000 BC. Well, I don't doubt that. I don't know. and Anxiety Egypt. 3,000? Well, technically Egyptian civilization has been... Well, technically it goes back earlier than that, but... Ancient Egypt, as we understand it, in terms of dynastic history, is like, yeah, 3000 BC with Narmer uniting the north and the south, basically. He was from the dynasties originated in southern Egypt, and they took over the north, I'm pretty sure. But yes, but the first things first, we'll look at the Minecraft video after this. I am curious to see what's actually going on with Steam. Because I know that this was kind of a thing like a few weeks ago. I thought about covering it on the stream, but I was like, there's already so many videos about it, but I don't know if this is like an update to it or something else, but uniting the North and South, what is this, Korea? No, it's ancient Egypt. Northern Egypt, otherwise known as Lower Egypt, has more in common with, did my model disconnect? Oh, yeah, of course it did. Oh, and now it's back. Northern Egypt tends to have more in common with the Levant and Mesopotamia, whereas Southern Egypt has a bit more in common with Nubia and Kush, but... Your club was hosted going to be on the 10th of May. It's been changed to the 17th. Alright. Yep. Always make sure you leave your options open when it comes to scheduling things, but... Here, let's, enough beating around the bush. Let's go ahead and see what this lawsuit that Steam is getting themselves into entails. I think I need to make sure that that whole 7 days is gonna matter so much. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the I don't know how it is. Don't make fun. Okay, let's see.
Steam just lost a major legal motion, which can end up costing them close to $1 billion.
Yes, accused of abusing its dominance in PC gaming to overcharge for games and DLC, as UK court says the case can continue. I think Pinnacle mentioned something similar with regards to, like, Sonic Adventure 2's Battle DLC or something like that, but stay tuned for that on Friday night.
But there's a whole lot at stake here, because right now this case is challenging the rules that Steam has set for PC gaming over the last 20 years.
Has it really been 20 years since it's existed? 2006.
And this can actually reshape the entire PC gaming industry depending on how all of this plays out. So back in June of 2024, a woman...
Where is Steam based? I'm assuming it's an American company.
...named Vicky Shotbelt, who runs an organization that focuses on children's digital safety.
Wait, is that the collective... is that one of those collective shout ladies from Australia?
She filed a lawsuit against Valve.
Oh, no, that's a different thing. The collective shout thing is a censorship thing. Apparently, this is just a... I don't know anymore.
In the UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal. Vicky has spent roughly
Tribunal.
decades working in digital rights advocacy.
Unless there are some dialects that say tribunal.
And for this...
Imagine offering the best thing ever. No one can compete just from sheer inferiority. No, it's just in the monopoly, yeah.
Case, she's even established a dedicated legal entity to represent the UK consumers through a collective action. And here in her lawsuit, she's going after Valve for roughly 656 million Great British pounds. Which is about $900 million on the behalf of an estimated 14 million people in the United Kingdom who've purchased games and add-on content on Steam since June of 2018.
Is there a reason other game stores like Epic aren't facing the same thing? Because I know that Epic Games also... I don't know the library that Epic Games has, but I know that it might be just as vast.
Okay, first of all, that's insane. That's a crazy amount of potential claimants, because in practice...
Have I played as any of the Sonic Adventure 2 players? I've only ever played Sonic Adventure 2 once in my life, and that was only because one of my sisters wanted to play with me, and Sonic Adventure 1 is a single-player game.
What this means is...
And my mom told me play with your sister, and so I had to play Sonic Adventure 2 instead, but we only ever played it once. But I do intend on playing it this weekend, so stay tuned for that.
If Valve were to actually lose this case, the money wouldn't go to Vicky herself. In theory, the money would be distributed across roughly 14 million UK Steam users.
And how many of those users actually care? I mean, I know people complain about things like DLC and like not having finished products and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it really just depends.
Gives each user the grand sum of somewhere between 22 and 44 Great British pounds.
So everyone gets anywhere between... and how many of these people are actually going to get any of this money? Yeah.
That is...
Two-player characters in treasure hunting are Tikal and Chaos.
Just a theory of what could happen, not a guaranteed payout or split. But a key detail here is this kind of lawsuit in the UK is an opt-out, not opt-in, which means that if you're a UK resident who bought stuff on Steam during this time frame, you're already a part of this lawsuit, unless you specifically say that you don't want to be involved.
Okay, so it is one of those types of things.
Now, obviously, Valve were not gonna just not fight back, so they filed to get this entire case dismissed before it could even go to trial, essentially arguing a whole bunch of technical points about why it shouldn't qualify.
London's Competition Appeal Tribunal determined that the matter was clearly rather one for trial. Clearly rather one for trial.
As a collective action. They also said the methodology for calculating damages were also flawed.
Who the hell uses the term mythology when calculating damages? Unless he means methodology.
And that it would be impossible to properly identify who should get compensated, and the whole economic analysis.
Yeah, I know. I've played Sonic Adventure once, so I know all of that.
Analysis behind the case just didn't hold up. The court, however, actually ruled with Shotbelt's team, and just a couple of weeks ago,
I'd imagine. The children's rights campaign acting as class representative said millions of gamers who bought Steam-enabled games now have the chance to seek redress and hold Valve to account.
The competition...
You have to say it like that because they're very British. This lady is clearly too British for her own good.
Issued a ruling that rejected Valve's objections and greenlit the lawsuit to proceed. They acknowledged that, yeah, some of the economic analysis is complicated, but...
Is there any reason that they're not doing this with Nintendo? I'm just saying, knowing the kind of shit that Nintendo's been trying to pull as of lately... You would think they'd want to go after them as well, unless they know that they can't compete with that.
That's definitely not a valid reason to completely end the case at this stage. Now, the core argument of this lawsuit comes down to three major allegations, apparently all from how Valve uses Steam's massive market dominance. First up, so we have price controls. The lawsuit here...
Price gouging. The jerk's charging $20 for a scoop of ice cream, and it's all because there's a heat wave today.
claims that Valve enforces what's called platform parity obligations, basically rules that prevent game developers from selling their games cheaper on other platforms. So if you're a developer and you want your game on Steam, you allegedly aren't allowed to sell the game cheaper on any other platforms, like...
Oh, well, I think that would make... I'd imagine that making sense. I'm pretty sure that's how it works with, like, other platforms, too. Like, when a new game comes out and it's, like, 59 or 69 bucks, it's usually the same price across all platforms anyway, so I'd imagine that being fairly reasonable.
Epic Games Store or on your own website than what it's sold for on Steam. Now, to somewhat verify that, Valve's public guidelines do mention that if developers run sales or discounts on Steam keys sold through their websites, they need to offer similar deals to people buying directly on Steam within a reasonable amount of time. And the exact phrasing they use is that developers should not give Steam customers a worse deal than what's available anywhere else.
Okay, so they just want everything to be even.
But whether that's a suggestion or an enforced requirement is a part of what this lawsuit is trying to establish. And the reason indie studios would often want to sell outside of Steam is because of Steam's 30% commission on sales. But I guess to counter that, Steam is by far the best gaming platform.
Okay, how is Valve the problem? You sold toys at Walmart, they're going to be prices different at like Walgreens or Bob's Discount Store. I don't know. I'm not an economist, so I wouldn't know about that. My mom knows more about business than me. If anyone could probably ask her. She probably knows more about the ins and outs of that stuff, but not me. I'm not an economist, so...
They built a community and an ecosystem like no one else, which I guess is why they can justify the 30% fee. Like, for example, I've been using Steam for like 16 years now, and throughout those years, I've played a lot of games with a lot of friends. Number one, it's an awesome tool for me to keep in contact with old friends, but something I noticed is when your friends launch a game, you get this little pop-up.
Yes, I've noticed that too. There's always some... I mean, you can disable the pop-ups so that as a means of, I guess, privacy. I've seen it pop up on mine, like on my both of my computer and my laptop, but you know.
Up on the corner of your screen on what they're playing. And that pop-up is genius because I found so many cool games.
Yes, well, my avatar is in the way. Anyone's curious, it usually pops up like a little green icon.
Just because I see friends of mine constantly playing some new game I haven't heard about. And I mean, I can't be the only one who bought games based on what my friends are playing. But the second major accusation is how DLC and add-on content work. Because, as the lawsuit puts it, when you buy a game on Steam, you're basically locked into buying all future DLC content through Steam as well. And you can't just...
Yeah, I mean, there are like bundles that you can get that include the DLCs, and they sometimes they include it at a slight discount, or every now and then there's some sort of sale, but...
Buy a game on Steam and then grab an expansion pack from a different storefront, like the Epic Games Store or so on. But I feel like this whole point is extremely dumb, because this is not something that's exclusive to Steam.
True. I was going to bring up that point because, plenty of other systems do it as well. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, they all do it. But for some reason, they're singling out Steam.
Pretty much every digital platform operates in this way. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Epic Games, like they're all built around the same idea. You have to buy all the DLC packages on top of the base game. Like, let's say you bought Far Cry off of Ubisoft Connect, formerly known as Uplay, and then one of the DLCs off of the Epic Games Store. You wouldn't be able to launch the DLC from the Epic Games launcher without the base game itself being registered to your account. But also, I don't really see a point in buying your base game on either Steam or base game on Epic Games and then trying to buy the DLC on vice versa. Like,
no, South Park made this kind of point within the Pandaverse special, where the Pandaverse Cartman was trying to play Baldur's Gate 3, but her save file wasn't transferred over. It's like, how do you transfer some files between computers? And it's like, and then Stan made the point, you can't even transfer files between different systems like PlayStation and computer. What makes you think that it would transfer between multiverses?
It just doesn't make sense. And ironically, the same game can actually behave very differently depending on the storefront. Like, PC ports on Epic Games and Steam, for some reason, aren't always identical.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed this with, like, I think the Kingdom Hearts series. Like, Kingdom Hearts only got added to Steam within, like, the past 2 years in, like, 2024. There are a lot of mods on websites like Nexus Mods, among others, that some of those mods only work on the Epic Games version because they both function differently.
Plenty of reports of crashes or bugs on Epic versions that simply don't happen on Steam for some reason. But moving on with the lawsuit then mentions that commission. Because, as I mentioned earlier, as of now, Valve takes a 30% cut of every sale that happens on Steam. So when you buy a game for like $20, roughly $6 go to Valve, and then $14 goes to the developer. Here, the lawsuit argues that this rate is unreasonably high, especially compared to newer competitors like Epic Games Store, which only charges 12%. They claim that Valve can keep this higher rate specifically because of their market dominance, and since developers just can't afford to not be on Steam, they have to accept this. But this is also a little bit tricky because just like the cross-store purchases thing, this is not exclusive to Valve and Steam. I would pretty much go as far to say that 30% rate is pretty industry standard because Apple charges 30% on the App Store.
Okay, so, well, let's go ahead and let's go. Okay, well, now we have to expand this lawsuit so that it includes those like Apple. Is that
Google
so?
Charges 30% on their Play Store, and even GOG, which has, you know, a reputation for being more developer friendly, still charges 30%. So the rate
That's where we got World of Goo, I think.
in itself isn't really unusual. And if they, you know, win based on how steep that rate is, what does it say for the rest of the, like, I guess we have to sue everyone then. But if this lawsuit succeeds, not only UK Steam users could actually receive some level of compensation for allegedly overpaying for games in recent years. And individually, that payout, it's not like it's going to be some life-changing money.
It's not. If you noticed earlier, it said like, what, $30 to $60 USD, which would be 22 to 44 in terms of pounds.
It's going to be like, you know, $20 to $40. But obviously when you combine, you know, $20 to $40 to every single person, it adds up to about $900 million.
It's an illusion.
Which is crazy because that's what they're seeking in the lawsuit. But I feel like a more significant issue isn't even the compensation itself. It's what a ruling like that could mean for how Steam operates going forward. Because if the court
at least in the UK in particular,
finds that Valve's business practices are...
I can never understand. I don't know if I ever fully understood how it works across, like, how... I wanted to say international law, but I don't think that's the correct term for this.
Genuinely anti-competitive, they could be ordered to make substantial changes. And most likely, those changes wouldn't just be in the UK. But despite all that, there's still this one complicating factor in the case that might make the entire situation not as clean as it looks on paper, because Steam uses something called Steam keys, which are basically activation codes for games that developers can generate for free and sell whenever they want. That's at least my understanding of it. Because if you buy games on PC, you've probably seen a whole bunch of these third-party retailers like G2A and Kinguin and so on and so on. And the most important detail is that Valve doesn't take any commission on the Steam keys sales. So if a developer generates 1,000 Steam keys and sells them for whatever the price they want, Valve gets $0 from those transactions, and the buyer still downloads and plays the game through Steam. So they are still using Valve servers and bandwidth and infrastructure. But here, Valve did not collect their 30% cut. Although, this is a little bit of a gray zone, because sometimes developers sell these keys, and sometimes these keys are leaked and then sold on these other websites. Because there's definitely been a whole bunch of scandals where stolen Steam keys are sold on these third-party websites.
Why is this reminding me of the Honey situation? No, that's what this is reminding me of, where you try to click on, like, if some YouTuber, content creator has some product that they're advertising, and then you have them click a link in the description to support them, the honey will pop up, and then it'll attempt to find you a better deal. But this inadvertently takes away from the commission that the YouTuber or content creator would have otherwise made.
Now, this doesn't completely undermine the whole lawsuit, but it might undercut part of the claim, since there's already this massive side economy of game sales happening right now. And I guess another decent argument for Valve is they're pretty much getting sued for doing the things that are pretty much standard across the entire gaming industry. You know, the 30% commission. Almost every platform charges that. Keeping DLC locked on the platform for the base game.
The question is anyone going to be smart enough to actually point it out to this lady?
Like, every major storefront works that way as well. Having pricing guidelines for developers, that's also pretty universal. But competition law, on the other hand, does treat companies differently based on their market position. So,
abuse of a dominant position.
Practices that would be totally fine for a smaller competitor is apparently a big no-no for a big guy. So it kind of seems like they're designed to be against the market leader. But obviously for it to be a no-no, it still requires them proving Steam has that level of dominance and that their practices are causing measurable harm. Now, the public opinion in this lawsuit doesn't seem as split as what I would have thought, at least.
It doesn't seem that way
Because some
either.
gaming news outlets ran a poll asking...
Okay, so the vote. Crap. Oh no. Almost spilled something. If it spills on my trackpad, then that would be very bad. No, Valve's business practices with Steam aren't anti-competitive, and the majority of people seem to agree with that sentiment.
Readers whether they thought Valve's
Although 690 people isn't really that big of a sample size.
business practices were anti-competitive. And something like
It should really be much
4%
bigger
said
than
no.
that.
And I feel like this is mirroring what's currently being...
It sounds like a BS lawsuit to me. One of the complaints is that Valve requires the DLC for games to also be available on Steam. How is that anti-consumer? All companies are forced to sell through Steam. Are companies forced to sell through Steam their game? No. Are Steam enforcing players or publishers to sell to use their platform exclusively? No. Just because people choose Steam as a main platform, it's because it's good and no good competitor outperformed them. Epic tries that, it still fails, not Steam fault. Okay.
being said on Reddit. Because I mean, from a user experience, Steam has a lot of features that genuinely treat customers pretty well compared to other platforms, like a refund system, family sharing, the Steam Workshop, community features, and its ongoing support. I feel like it's kind of just a skill issue that Uplay or Uconnect suck that much. Epic Games is like okay at best, and don't even get me started on Origin. The only reason
I don't know what
people
Origin
use
is.
Origin or Uplay, which is now Uconnect, is because they were forced to use it. Steam earned its dominant position by simply just being the best product for the longest time. Like Epic Games has been dumping
that's usually
huge
how
amounts
it
of money
works.
into
You make a product that people really like, then you continue making that product. That's just basic economics.
their store through exclusive deals and giving away games for free and only
Well, I probably shouldn't say that. As I said, I'm not an economist, so I wouldn't know.
charging 12% on sales and all that stuff. But they still can't really compete with Steam in any meaningful way. Some people argue that the market will self-correct. Like if Steam is genuinely overcharging, competitors will undercut them and slowly take away their user base.
Yeah.
But of course, there are also those people who believe that the network effects and first mover advantages make meaningful competition nearly impossible without intervention. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a slippery slope when regulators choose the winners rather than us, the consumers. This is definitely not the first time something like this has happened, because the developer behind the game Overgrowth filed a similar lawsuit.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time.
Against Valve in the United States back in 2021. And there they made many of the same arguments, but that case got dismissed initially, but was refiled and
Wolfire and Dark Cat's antitrust lawsuit against Valve granted class action status.
achieved, I guess, a class action status. So now it's been slowly working its way through the courts, and it's been 5 years.
Has it really?
So developers over the years have been grumbling about Valve, but overall, I mean, this process will likely take a long time to see anything happen. But it's definitely worth keeping an eye
as it
on,
usually
because depending on
works.
how
You know, what happened to the right to a speedy trial? Granted, I'm pretty sure the UK doesn't have anything like that, but I'm just saying. You still go there every year. That's nice. All right, that's enough of a warm-up. I couldn't comment on that for shit, but I do want to check out this beating Minecraft without moving. Real seed. This took way longer than this guy thought, but considering that they didn't even know that this was possible or not, it's definitely a big win. Smile emoticon.
This is
Okay, let us go ahead and see. No, I can't wait to see what goes on here. Are we gonna have to do this at some point? I mean, I don't know the next time I'll be playing Minecraft, but the next time we do, we're not... If I die, I will not lose my inventory because I don't have the patience for that.
This is a real Minecraft world, and I spawned inside the end portal. How did I end up here?
Inside the end. How did
I don't know, but I
don't know.
can show you how this was made possible. In today's video, I want to go over the process of finding a valid seed,
Okay, so we're going like directly into the code to figure it out.
inventing new strategies, and eventually beating the game without moving.
Okay.
Before we get into the seed finding, I want to explain the basic rules for this
Yes, rules. Here's a rule for you.
challenge. The first rule
You spent school days in
is
hometown. Yeah.
movement of any kind
No
is
movement.
not allowed.
So not even like moving the camera.
This includes walking, getting pushed by mobs, and also every form of vertical movement, like jumping or falling, for example.
Okay, but what about moving your What about moving the camera? Which technically that would involve like moving your head, but.
Second rule:
Well, if we're not going to get moved by even enemies, so you'd have to turn them off, wouldn't you? One single world inversion.
run has to be performed on a real seed within a single world.
Okay.
So up or downgrading it in any way is not allowed. The third and final rule is that every feature within the
Every asterisk feature. Apparently not every feature is going to be allowed.
game is allowed to be used in the run. The only exception to this is the bonus chest, because nobody likes it and it feels like cheating.
I don't know anything about bonus chests.
Apart from that, it's allowed to use every glitch and even manipulate
Okay, so this involves glitches. Okay,
RNG
that's
to
good
use
to
its
know.
full potential. Without further ado, let's go to the first step: seed finding.
Seed finding.
When you want to beat the game without moving at all, you have to spawn inside the end portal on one of those 18 blocks. So there are a few problems to solve. In the past, people found seeds which let you spawn inside the stronghold or on top of the portal room.
I don't know anything about seed generation. I didn't really know this was a thing.
I had to find a way to open the portal room, because when you enter a world you will always spawn on the highest solid block.
Oh.
The portal room always generates with a ceiling and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless you find a structure or world feature which overrides the ceiling somehow. You might have seen similar things in your Minecraft world. The most common overlap of two structures happens when a temple and a village generate in the same place. Did you notice one thing? The temple is always intact and the village gets destroyed.
I've only ever encountered a village like once, and it was in a test world, and I hadn't been able to find another one since.
Why isn't it the other way around? I quickly found the answer after looking into the game's code.
Okay, this properties use villages and this.
There's a specific order in which structures generate in a chunk. The
So are we allowed to like modify the code then?
first structure which tries to generate is a mineshaft, but it's not really interesting because I assume that most of you have seen a seed where a mineshaft generated within a stronghold. After that, a village will try to generate, which is followed by the most important structure, the stronghold. Because of the order in which the structures generate, it's possible for a stronghold to override a village, but not the
Oh, ooh, I've never seen. Oh, is this really what it looks like underneath? You gotta wait until the end? Alright, we'll see.
other way around. You may have never seen this happen before, but I searched for a seed in which you see that the portal room is still intact, but parts of the village are destroyed. If I want to open the portal room, I have to search for a different structure. What comes next in the generation process is the desert or jungle temple and the swarm hut.
Okay.
Code-wise, they are actually the same and only differ depending on the biome they spawn in.
Okay.
I even had some
I'm having a lot of trouble commenting on this because I don't know anything about. I don't really know. I still don't know that much about Minecraft or how the worlds work.
hope to find an
So
open up portal room with one of those structures, because especially the desert temple generates
I think I might be dehydrated, which is probably why I'm having trouble commentating.
with a lot of air. I searched for some interesting seeds, but as you can see, even with the highest portal rooms imaginable, the desert temple still destroys the portal frames.
Okay. Oh, alright. I think I understand what's going on.
Even though I knew the jungle temple and the swarm hut can't open the portal room.
Would this be considered a jungle? Those don't look like the right trees for a jungle.
I still managed to find some seeds which show some interesting interactions. These seeds are not really useful, but they are still worth showing in a video like this. Minecraft 1.8 doesn't have that many structures, but the next and arguably final useful structure may be able to open the portal room. There are some other structures like spawners, lakes, pools and the bonus chest, but they just can't open the portal room and they are just not really worth talking about. Anyway, the last structure is the ocean monument, which can override the stronghold. The Mr. Epic already made a video about a seed
Alright.
found by
The unbeatable Minecraft seed. A world first seed
Minecraft
discovery.
at home, where all end portals got destroyed by ocean monuments, which made it impossible to beat the game. Interesting, but not what I was looking for. Instead, I only want to override the upper part of the portal room. After some testing, I found out that with the right conditions, it's possible to open the portal room if it generates within this rectangle. So I started coding, and a day later I had my first open portal room.
Nice.
That was cool, and
But you're still moving.
definitely an achievement, but there were so many more challenges to come.
Impossible spawn point. Okay, so we're going to figure out how to get there without having to move.
First of all, I had to find a way
Yeah.
to replace the lava inside the portal with other blocks, because if I spawned in the lava, I could just not reach the portal without moving.
Okay.
Opening the portal room is already difficult enough, and using a second structure seemed unviable
Desert temple. Somehow.
or even impossible. Luckily, in some rare cases you can already find end portals with obsidian inside. But how is this possible?
Oh,
When
this
the
is
portal
let's-
room generates, it doesn't generate in one piece, and instead it uses something like chunks. If the portal generates at a chunk border,
So it's all about
and the water
RNG.
happens to be right next to the lava, it will turn into obsidian, and after that, the rest of the portal room generates. Those so-called population chunks have their borders at the chunk coordinate 8 in X and Z direction. Monuments always spawn inside the ocean, and therefore it's pretty likely that there's some obsidian inside the end portal. Sometimes the ocean is not deep enough and therefore no lava will be turned into obsidian, but with the right tools it's possible to search for this.
Oh.
The next and definitely much harder step was to find a spawn point inside the portal room. After half an hour of searching,
I can't comment on this. I think I'm either too tired to comment on it or I just don't have enough knowledge.
I found a seed which lets you
You can see it from spawn.
see the open portal room from your spawn point. This is definitely cool, but getting close to the portal room is something completely different to getting into the portal room. Now it gets rather complicated, but I will try my very best to explain the spawn point algorithm. When you generate a new Minecraft world, the game searches for a valid spawn biome within 256 blocks of the world's center. Here you can see all of those biomes. What do they have in common? Grass blocks.
Grass.
The game
You planted grass?
picks a random starting position in the valid biome and checks whether this position is a grass block. As you might have guessed, most of the time the game instantly finds one, and that's the reason why most, but not all of your spawn points are within 256 blocks of 00. In some rare cases, maybe a cave, trees, or a gravel patch might have destroyed the grass. In this case, the game does the following algorithm. Pick two random numbers between 0 and 63.
You'll stay at a motel when you visit.
Add and subtract them from your x coordinate,
Add and subtract them.
and do the same thing for your z coordinate. Then the new coordinates check for a possible grass block. If it can't find one, it repeats this algorithm. Eventually, you might end up with a search pattern which looks like this. What does that mean for our search? First of all, strongholds spawn rather far away from 00, which makes it even more unlikely
You have no
that one of those
Oh no. Well, you have a boyfriend. I'm pretty sure that counts for something.
dots is close to the portal room. In addition to that, finding a grass block within 11 blocks of a monument is quite rare, probably even impossible. So is there a chance where a spawn point could theoretically be inside the portal room? Yes, because the searching algorithm is not infinite, and after 1000 tries, it just stops.
It stops.
I think you know where this is going.
So we just have to try it 1,000 times until bam.
What if I filtered for a seed which can't find a grass block in those 1000 tries, and with a lot of luck, this last searching attempt happens to be directly at the portal room? That's exactly what I need, even though it's insanely rare that, first of all, the exactly 1000 spawning attempt is at the end portal, and in addition to that, all the previous 999 attempts must have failed as well. After coding a basic script, I let my computer run for a few hours and I already got the first results.
Okay, so we've been doing this for a while then.
So I checked the seeds, and here you have it. A seed which lets you spawn
Oh, and here we are.
inside the end portal.
There we go. Went to your home. Okay.
I still have to smile while reading the script because it felt so unreal when I found it. I can't even
Yeah, but you're moving.
put into words how incredibly this seed is.
Oh wait, now we have to figure out, well, how are we gonna get in there unless we're gonna spawn in with whatever it is that you're supposed to put in those.
But only a few hours
Are those like jars or are those
Hours
something else?
later, the euphoria was gone.
Oh no.
I realized
The euphoria.
I have to beat a seed like this. I have a lot of knowledge
So yeah, you managed to make it in, but you have no idea how to get there.
about the game, but beating this seed was just not going to happen. So I decided to search for other seeds. The game implemented two
Roots.
ways how you can obtain an Eye of Ender in 1.8.
Okay, obtaining an Eye of Ender in 1.8. I don't know which version that I have, so I don't know if I'd be able to do it this way.
Apart from the basic crafting recipe, you can also trade an Eye of Ender from a villager.
What is that orange? Do any of you know what this is supposed to be and where can I find it?
Apart from the basic crafting recipe, you can also trade an Eye of Ender from a villager. Obviously, I can't have a village inside the stronghold in this case, but luckily zombie villagers exist.
Claire.
As many of you might know, you can transform a zombie villager back into a normal villager if the zombie has the weakness effect and you give him a golden apple.
And a
Brewing a
gilded-
weakness potion is obviously not a smart option, but witches can also throw them. So this part of the equation is already solved, but how can I theoretically obtain a golden apple? Either I find it in a chest like a dungeon or stronghold,
Yeah.
or I craft it. Golden apples can be found in mine shafts in newer versions, but unfortunately not in 1.8.
You can mine gold and just do it that way. Is the reason you lost everything in the nether? Well, give or take.
Sadly, both of those chest scenarios seemed a bit too unlikely to succeed for
Yeah, but that doesn't explain what it is.
The major problem is that the portal room has to generate in water for the lava to turn into
Okay, I think I can...
obsidian, but all the other parts of the strongholds have to be inside the ground.
I lost everything because I fell in the magma.
So you need a pretty much perfect ocean floor for this to work. I
Too rare.
mentioned that you can technically craft a golden apple. For this you need some wood, an apple and gold.
Yeah, gold's not that hard to come by in the game, at least in my
As
experience.
long as we have wood, gold won't be an issue, because with some iron from zombies you can build another portal, which also
Can you get iron from zombies?
allows a pigman to spawn. Finding
Oh,
both an
right.
apple and wood accessible in one seed is also rather difficult, because the blocks I can reach to destroy or interact with are super limited.
Yep.
A promising idea was the use of a storage room. They have wood and a chest with a 50% chance to contain an apple. Like the other stronghold chest idea, this was too rare to filter for. Eventually, I came up with the idea of using a forgotten feature, the bonus chest. It's
Bonus
likely
chest.
that they contain wood, an apple, and it seemed like a viable option. But viable doesn't mean that I wanted to use it.
Eh.
Eventually, I even managed to find one of those seeds. All in all, the villager method seemed like a viable option, but finding a seed where this is possible would have taken way too long. If villager trading is not an option, what's the alternative? Crafting an Eye of Ender?
Okay, here, let me actually
Villager
read it this
trading is
time.
not an option. What's the alternative? Crafting
No,
an
I want an
Eye of Ender?
blaze powder. That's what I was asking.
Only need wood?
I don't know how to make
Kill
it though.
zombies for iron, and at this point you are pretty much ready to enter the nether. You could obtain wood from a nearby mineshaft.
Oh, that's an interesting way to do it.
For
I just
that,
noticed.
I had to write a whole mineshaft simulation. This means you can just input the seed
Would riding a mine shaft be considered, or a mine cart be considered moving?
and the starting coordinates of a mineshaft, and you get the coordinates of every room and corridor. By the way, you can download the code for this entire project on my GitHub account.
No thanks, I'm good. You
The
can.
link can be found in the description.
If anyone else wants to go through that, be my guest. You get blaze power by killing a blaze. The giant white squid thingies
At first, this method of
crafted into powder.
acquiring
Okay,
an eye of
alright, I'll be sure to remember
and it
that.
doesn't seem too difficult until you realize that the inner part of the end portal is only 3 blocks and the nether portal is 4 blocks wide. It would be kind of ridiculous to fit a 4-block nether portal into a 3-block gap, but let's say I found a way to make it work. Killing a blaze didn't seem too difficult, and that's why
Or is it one of these things?
it was time to search for a valid seed. Let's say I totally underestimated the amount of computing power
Oh no.
required to find a playable seed.
The seed finding script took some hours to find a valid seed.
Seed finding script took some hours to find a valid seed. Okay, maybe
Days.
Oh no, actually weeks. Oh no, wait, actually months. I can't really
Years.
put into words how long that took, even though the script was very optimized. We searched for
However, how much is this? 100,000 million billion trillion 100 quadrillion seeds. I should play Minecraft with someone so I don't just steal or adventure everything in every chest. Okay. I mean, we were going to do that, but then one thing kind of led to another, and it never really came into fruition because they were worried about security.
around 100 quadrillion seeds.
Yeah, security and stability was the reason that we could never really host a room or a thing together.
And just one of them fit the criteria. Don't get me wrong, I found dozens of seeds which let you spawn inside the end portal, but only a single one was beatable for me. In the following chapter, I will show you how.
Let's go. The run. Oh, wait, so we were just on chapter 2 this whole time? Just get a burner computer and install the Minecrafts, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
how am I supposed to do this?
That's a real good question. You're the one who's making the video. Okay, I can sort of feel the blood rushing to my head. I think things are...
No wood,
All it took was a cup of water and a whole water bottle.
guardians shooting at me, and the quest to beat the entire game.
I think you're moving. I think spinning around like that constitutes as moving. Your laptop can't run anything past 1.17.
I think it can't get any worse than this.
I'm sure we could figure... Okay, well that just came out of nowhere. I'm sure we could figure out something in the future. You can't run anything over 30 minutes. Unless that was supposed to be there. Oh, look, an achievement get. We're taking inventory.
Okay, fair. Let's inspect the seed. There's not much to work with. A portal room floating in the ocean, but at least there is a mineshaft a few blocks below the end portal. Acquiring this prestigious wood seems like a big deal, because I don't even have a way to get a
Oh,
creep
lord.
into the portal room, for example, which might be useful to dig our way through the floor. To get rid of the mining fatigue, I toggled the difficulty to peaceful to despawn the Elder Guardians.
Okay.
To begin the run, I waited for a guardian to fall into lava. For this, I had to reload multiple times to have a form of invincibility.
Oh. Okay. You haven't turned it on since 2024. Oh no. Wait. Relogs cut out for watchability reasons. Yeah, if I decide to clip this, I'll have to cut out like at most a third of the reaction. Sometimes it begins to lag on your end. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever played for too long on my computer. I mean, I haven't been able to play too many games in the past like half a year because I've been so busy with video making, but so we're just trying to defeat these things and then collect their loot.
After obtaining a prismarine shard, I
Oh.
could dupe it, and now I already
Oh, there's a duplication
have an
glitch.
infinite amount of solid blocks, which is better than nothing.
Okay, I see.
My
I see.
reach is very limited, and gravel could be useful to interact with things which are further away. Animan can pick up gravel, teleport into the portal room, and place the gravel in a convenient spot.
Yeah.
By killing the Enderman, I also obtained an ender pearl, which is needed later in the run. While
Okay.
editing the video, I realized that you could get the gravel without the help of an enderman. So this method obviously reduces the amount of luck required for this drastically. Anyway, back to the video.
Okay.
Digging through the water seems impossible, and I can't just fill it up with gravel because there's no way to destroy it all. I mean, okay, technically I could have 100 endermen teleport into this hole and pick up the gravel and leave again, but the RNG required for this is too ridiculous and it seemed a bit too boring. So I came up with something new.
Something new that's clearly been done before, otherwise it wouldn't be in quotations.
If I can't destroy the water, can't I just transform the water into stone? It may seem a bit
How would you do that? So turn it into ice?
counterintuitive, but stone is incredibly easy to mine if you use the right technique. Silverfish mining. I have an
Silverfish.
infinite amount of silverfish because of the spawn,
Those are some very big silverfish.
and I can easily turn the water into stone with the lava below my feet.
I still don't understand what's going on.
Long, but eventually I managed to get a hole to the mine shaft.
Oh, okay, we're just trying to get down below.
Mine shaft even generated with some floating gravel, so there was no enderman involved in this.
Sweet.
After some waiting, a creeper walked onto the gravel and I was able to make a little staircase for him. Make sure that he can destroy some wood when he explodes, I had to remove 2 extra blocks. One of them was picked up by an enderman and the other one was destroyed by a silverfish. My plan was to get the creeper close to me, and right before he explodes, I punch him down so that he destroys the wood. The issue was that even if I shielded myself from the explosion, I will still get knocked back.
Yeah.
The same thing applies if
Yeah, if you came across a Karen.
I had
bring it up.
invincibility.
Okay.
Eventually, I figured out that if I leave the game in the perfect tick, I won't get knocked back. Now, I had some wood laying around in the mineshaft, but I got a zombie to pick it up. I built a little staircase for the zombie, and a few minutes later I was able to kill the zombie, which conveniently dropped some iron.
Imagine how long this would have taken. Yeah, I don't think I would have the patience to be able to do something like this. I mean, I didn't have enough patience before.
So I was
Nice.
finally
Oh, how did you get... and how long did it take for you to get all of this? Damn.
able to craft some basic tools, which was definitely a big milestone. Another small but impactful thing was obtaining redstone from a witch. The witch just walked up the stairs.
It just comes
there
out
was
of
not much
nowhere,
to talk
acting
about
like it
except
owns the place.
usage of
Oh,
the
okay.
redstone.
Oh, is
I
that what the
finally
redstone is for? It sounds
To
crazy.
craft some pistons, and those were pretty useful to drain some parts of the portal room, which was required for the next few steps.
Oh lord, there's still so much I don't know about how this game works. Damn.
At this point, you might still be wondering, how am I going to enter the nether? The method which I want to use is the following. Destroy one of those portal frames, and if you fill in the last Eye of Ender into the frame next to it, the portal still lights up. The thing about developing new strategies is that once you solve
Oh, you don't need the entire
a
thing?
problem, you get 2 more. So, how can I destroy this frame? After some research about bedrock breaking,
Bedrock breaking
I
methods.
came up with the conclusion that only a so-called headless piston method
Headless piston.
could be viable for this. I didn't find a viable setup on YouTube, but I found one which heavily inspired my alternative design. I don't want to go into too much
You'll learn more. I'll learn. I'm sure I will, but
detail, but basically
who knows? It depends on how. It depends on what happens to me in the future.
an explosion next to an extended piston and a second piston, which you place at the spot where the first piston gets blown up, you can destroy the block below the piston. Getting the piston into the correct spot facing upwards was
That's it. You will leer all the mines and all the crafts. Yes, I will. I will just.
kind of difficult, but with the help of some other
Or we'll take it to the leering center.
pistons, I managed to do it. Instead of TNT, I
going
can
to be
also use
at a
creeper,
restaurant
but
dinner.
explosions
Yeah.
in general are a major problem in this challenge. As you already know, even if the explosion happens behind a wall, you still get knocked back. Can't I just use this strat from the beginning where I leave the game in the perfect tick? Sadly, no, because you can't leave the game and place a piston in the same tick. At this point, I was a bit frustrated.
A little bit frustrated.
Was this little mechanic seriously going to ruin the entire run?
I don't know.
I tried out so many different things, and eventually, after days of searching, I found out that you don't get any knockback if you place a boat directly on your head.
Really? So that's all it took. So if you're ever caught in some sort of explosive situation and you're afraid of getting knocked back, just put a boat on your head. Apparently that'll work. Oh my god, new Zelda strat. No, Wind Waker, put the King of Red Lines on you before placing a bomb. You're not gonna get knocked back. Wait, no. That might actually be the key to barrier skip. We found a new barrier skip setup that involves having the King of Red Lions on your head. I don't know what type of food they'd have in New Zealand. I'd imagine it's similar to what you would find in other restaurants around the world, but I don't know.
No, I didn't make that up. In the run, I used the fence and iron bars to perfectly align the boat with some water.
The spiders, I can hear them. So that's supposed to be a boat. Okay, at least you didn't move, huh? You're not gonna drown, are you? There's a whole bunch of junk just all over there, and I have no idea what's going on. No, look at all that stuff.
After successfully removing the end portal frame, I duped some lava to build the nether portal.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I forgot you could put lava in a bucket.
The nether part itself
Lava buckets.
is not very spectacular in comparison to the rest of the run. There was a part of the fortress relatively close by, blazes spawned on top of it, and eventually one of them fell down. It wandered around a bit, and then I realized that a fishing rod could be pretty useful for this. So I went back to the overworld, killed a...
Oh, okay. Yeah, New Zealand is an island. You must have expensive food there. Are the kiwi fruits expensive?
cave spider, and crafted a fishing rod. After that, I
Okay.
didn't have any issues.
Oh, can you wait? Are you attacking with a fishing rod, or?
Now I'm getting closer and
I
closer
have
to
no
the
idea
end of
what's
the run.
going on.
After crafting the Eye of Ender, the only thing that was left to do was killing the Ender Dragon. I'm about to show you an alternative end fight which I didn't do during the run. In 1.8, every time you enter the end island itself is the same, but the crystals vary in their height, width and quantity. It's even possible to get an end island with no crystals. So the dragon can't heal and charges you frequently.
Oh.
Therefore, you can hit the dragon over and over again in peaceful mode,
Okay, so you just...
and eventually the dragon is beaten. Now comes the reason why we can't do this in the no movement challenge.
Oh, okay, so we're about to get the exception.
No matter what you do, the end fountain will always generate where you killed the dragon
I'm guessing a kiwi fruit is different from, like, a kiwi.
at Y level 64. This is just impossible to reach because you will always spawn on Y level 49. Technically, you can use an ender pearl to get to the fountain, but this feels very unsatisfying. So what can I do instead? What if I never
Credits warp.
killed the dragon and skipped the end fight completely?
Oh, so like a wrong warp to the credits?
With the new discoveries, mainly from Iron Irio, this is actually possible.
How my credits warp glitch broke Minecraft any % speed runs.
This strategy is called Credits Warp and is used in various glitch
Kiwi
speedruns.
Boyd.
The main problem is that these are performed in version 1.12. In 1.8, the mechanics are a lot different, but the main strategy looks similar. You enter the end 2 times. During the first enter, you have to place redstone and a power source in a specific pattern. After that, you kill yourself to respawn in the overworld.
Yeah, but you still have to move.
Entering the end the second time is a lot more complicated because
You've seen a kiwi bird.
first of all, you have to restart your game and use the following Java arguments. When you re-enter the end, you need a pearl which hits the ground just a tick after entering.
Do they taste like kiwi? I'd imagine that a kiwi bird would taste like bird,
If you did
but
everything correctly,
which would taste like chicken.
you might get the credits warp. Myron has a very detailed explanation video on his channel, so in case you want to know more about it, you should check it out. Back to the run.
Okay.
Is the credits warp even possible in the no movement challenge? The problem is that you have to kill yourself after you entered the end for the first time. When you respawn in the overworld, you could just spawn at your initial starting point, right? Well, no, because the end portal is already lit. I would need to find a way to destroy or unlit the portal. Eventually, I rediscovered a strat on my own which
Any % time
is
travel.
used in the so-called time travel speedrun category. Time traveling in Minecraft means that you can undo certain things from the past, for example lighting up the end portal. I figured out that you can do the following. Enter the end portal normally, Pause for a second and then press Alt and F4. This causes the game to crash and not all the progress to get saved. When you restart the game and join into the world, you will be in the end, but the overworld still looks unchanged. This means that the end portal is not lit up and you're in the end.
Yeah.
Now you can place
It grows from
down the
vines.
redstone, kill yourself and respawn in the
Oh,
overworld.
okay.
Now it's actually possible to spawn at the initial starting coordinates, and I managed to perfectly set up the end warp for later. All that's left to do after changing the Java arguments are the following steps.
Let's see.
Throw a pearl, light
pearl.
up the portal at the perfect time, and that's it. We're done. Or are
And
we? Did you
wait,
see that?
see what?
For a frame, the coordinates are shown on screen.
Okay.
I changed my coordinates because the pearl lands in a slightly
Until what?
different spot than
Was
you
it like a fruit
stand
tree
on.
or a pineapple?
Is there
I could look up what a kiwi fruit
anything
is.
I can do about it? Yes. I have to manipulate the RNG so that the pearl precisely lands in the correct spot. I managed to find a setup which involves an extra water above the player. This water is required for this whole trick to work. It's actually possible to land in the exact same spot you started on. And now, you're about to witness Minecraft history.
Let's see.
The moment you have been waiting for. In a split of a second, the game is beaten without me ever moving at all.
Okay, so all of that for a wrong warp to the credits. Very well then.
Even though I
Oh, the
did
crypt.
most of the work during this project, there were still some people who I'd like to thank for their contributions. Nia for contributing computing power in the seed finding process
Not
and
bad.
also helping me to route the seed and write the script. I also want to thank Myron Area for finding the credits warp, which made this whole challenge possible. Crafted Arc for helping me with the credits warp in 1.8, and my brother for producing most of the background music.
Ooh, shout out to the brother.
Thank you so much for watching. See ya.
See ya. Alright, here, let's look up what a... Oh, it is just a kiwi. No, the way you said kiwi fruit made it sound like that it was different from a kiwi. Now, what is the actual plant? This doesn't look like a vine, though. I mean, it seems to look like it. You like the green ones better than the yellow. I'm pretty sure most people prefer green kiwis. No, the way you made it sound, you kept calling it kiwi fruit instead of just a kiwi. Here in the US, we just call it a kiwi. Although in Canada, at least in the Canadian cartoon 16, it's slang for your balls. So, oh well, I guess. No, in my mind, it's a matter of perspective. But I see a video titled "My Creation is Trying to Delete Me." I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Alright, good night, Jack. Let's see. I don't really have... Okay, so we got through that. What else was I gonna loot? Oh, I saw this pop up in my recommendations about the night a tornado started glowing. The last time we looked at this Swaggle Studios, it was the... What was it? The 100... What was it? The 40 degrees Celsius heat blast, whatever it was called. Knowing how I am about, I don't know, I might be too tired to really talk about any of this stuff. Lord have mercy. But we'll see what happens. I'll do my best. No, the last 2 Wednesdays we've been doing pretty well, but apparently this Wednesday my brain decided that it doesn't want to talk. It just wants to watch and chill. Oh my god. But I guess that's the thanks I get. Yeah, I went to play DDR last night, and of course, I couldn't do anything greater than a 15. Because of course in 2023 you were in a cyclone, right? Okay. But for some reason, Tuesdays haven't been that great for me in terms of DDR, and I can't stand it. I wish I was more consistent. I absolutely hate not being able to play effectively. I can't stand it. I'm hoping... I don't know. I don't know if I'll be playing this Friday, because there's something going on for the next month or so that would inhibit me if I continued to pursue it. But I do want to check this out. I can't even speak tonight, but about the night a tornado started glowing. Make sure you check out the original video before we jump right into it. But hopefully I'll be able to comment on this. I hope I'm not too tired. If I'm too tired, then we'll just look at some shit posts instead.
Wednesday, May 25th, 19...
Hold on, let me speed it up since it's like 22 minutes.
55. In the Central Plains of the...
It said 1955, correct?
Wednesday, May 25th,
Yes.
1955. In the Central Plains of the United States,
And it always starts here in the Tornado Alley.
hundreds of communities in eastern Oklahoma were preparing for a long night of severe weather.
Mhm.
Throughout the day, reports of strong,
Alright, you gotta get used to this if you're gonna live out here.
scattered thunderstorms were coming in from the west side of the state. Many communities sent out warnings mentioning how these storms were some of the strongest they had ever encountered. This was all due to
To be honest, they were only gonna get stronger.
a low pressure system over the Oklahoma panhandle moving eastward, interacting with a north moving massive tropical air. These conditions
Yep.
led to an unstable environment that began to produce isolated and violent supercell thunderstorms.
Yeah, and this is why they call it Tornado Alley. The warm, moist air of the Gulf of Mexico interacts with the cool, dry air of the Rocky Mountains.
There were reports of strong lightning,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that, Brad. We could look at that after this if you can remind me.
huge gusts of wind, and even strong tornadoes.
Yep.
Near Aberdeen, Oklahoma,
We should just we should just look at videos of tornadoes or look at videos of severe weather, and then I can just comment on them, and we'll be like, ooh, look at that and look at this. No, we should do that just because.
for example, a large wedge tornado with wind speeds near 200 miles per hour
200 miles per hour. I'm pretty sure the strongest tornadoes can reach upwards of 300.
tore through the countryside, claiming 2 lives. This event was beginning to look like the major storm of the year,
Yeah.
and warnings of this major storm continued to
Yeah, he has a plane called the Tornado, yeah.
pour into the towns and cities in the eastern part of the state.
The battle theme again, one of the songs that plays when you're riding in the tornado in Sonic Adventure 1 just popped up in my head. The one that goes da 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 da, or however the rhythm goes. You probably know which one I'm talking about.
One of these communities was the town of Blackwell, located in Kay County in northern Oklahoma. They had heard the warnings, they had heard the reports, but they didn't dwell too much on the information.
Yeah, because it's in Tornado Alley, tornadoes are just a regular occurrence.
It was May in Oklahoma, after all.
Yep.
Tornado threats come in practically every week. But unfortunately, this time would be different.
Courtesy of Jack Frank.
Blackwell would encounter a tornado that night. This may sound like another tragic tornado story, and it is a very tragic tornado story,
Aw.
but there is much more to this tornado than your typical tornado. You see, according to eyewitnesses, something strange happened that night. Something that even to this day, experts cannot
Luminous phenomena.
fully explain. A natural phenomenon occurred with the Blackwell tornado that has never really been seen since. Apparently this tornado glowed in the dark. What was it that caused the Blackwell supernatural ghost tornado?
So let's go.
Who saw it? How do they describe it? And are there any similar events that might help prove that it actually occurred?
I mean, knowing people's interactions with such things,
Today, we are exploring the
it wouldn't surprise me if it was secretly aliens.
1955 Blackwell, Oklahoma glowing ghost tornado.
I mean, it's probably not aliens, and it's probably not ghosts. It could be. There's this one type of algae that was mentioned in an episode of Bob's Burgers that glows in the dark at night. It could be that. But then again, what would that type of algae be doing in the middle of Oklahoma?
It's now 7 in the evening. The residents of Blackwell can see distant flashes of lightning to their southwest.
Or it could also be lightning, to be honest, or something similar to that.
Many at this time had just eaten supper and were now preparing for bed. Meanwhile, just north of Oklahoma City, a small blip appeared on the Stillwater radar. This blip was, at the time, just a small, isolated thunderstorm. But by 8 o'clock, the system had traveled significantly to the north and had developed into a large and dangerous supercell. Finally, at 9:26 p.m., a small tornado began to descend over rural Noble County, Oklahoma.
This guy's new at 3D animation, so don't judge. Well, I can't really tell. It looks pretty good.
Initially, this small tornado had gone unnoticed by the nearby communities. It was now dark out, so the tornado could only be seen during brief flashes of
Yeah. No, that's one thing that I've always been kind of worried about is like when a tornado happens at night, and so you're not really prepared for it.
lightning. The tornado continued to head straight north as it crossed into Kay County. By this point, it had strengthened significantly into a destructive monster, and directly in its path were the communities of Tonkawa and Blackwell. Now, of course, since it was night, the tornado could not be seen.
Yeah.
No one even knew it was coming.
Yeah, all you have to go by is the sound that it makes. I remember reading or hearing about people that have had to witness or live through tornadoes, and they describe the sound that they make as like a train coming.
It could only be discerned by sound.
Yeah.
What sound does a tornado make? Well, those who have encountered nocturnal tornadoes describe the sound as a mix between an approaching freight train
Yes.
and a jet engine.
Yes, yes.
That just gets louder and louder the closer it gets. Something similar to this.
Let's listen.
As the tornado approached Tonkawa, the residents who
It's that deep, low humming.
were still awake could feel the rumble and hear the sound of something approaching. But fortunately for them, nothing would happen. The tornado just barely dodged the town to the east.
Oh man, they
But
barely
still, in its
avoided
path
it.
was the larger community of Blackwell.
Huh.
And in Blackwell, something strange was occurring in the atmosphere. With the storm and the tornado still off in the distance, some community members noticed curious arcs of light being released from pointed surfaces.
Oh, is this like real? Is this real footage?
Outside on telephone poles, strange mini beams of blue light were extending into the sky. Something
Well, I'd imagine that with telephone poles, because they're conducting electricity, that would make sense.
very unusual was happening in the atmosphere, and it was causing a significant amount of St. Elmo's fire. A few moments later, people began to hear the roar of the approaching tornado. But something with the tornado had changed. Even though it was dark out, according to eyewitnesses, the tornado could actually be seen. Mrs. Sonsberg, located in the eastern part of Blackwell, looked out her living room window and saw the tornado. Incredibly, it was glowing in the dark.
Was it glowing blue though?
It was emitting light. She described it as continuous fork lightning in the shape of a snake's tongue ascending up
Oh,
into the tornado's funnel, giving the whole thing a bluish hue.
okay.
This wasn't like a short burst of lightning. No, this was a constant blue glow. As she watched, the phantom tornado
So what causes these?
continuously
What causes the ones that appear on the lights then, or on the telephone poles?
closer and closer to the town and her house. Before she knew it, it was right on top of her. She and her family quickly darted below ground as the powerful tornado tore through the eastern section of town. Homes were destroyed, cars and trees were flung high into the sky, and 20 people were killed.
Oh. And nobody has seen this type of tornado since? This is why you always gotta watch out for the wind.
On On top of the 20 fatalities, nearly 200 would suffer injuries. Here are some of the witnesses to the event.
We have 16 apartments here. 12 of them are witnesses, and there's only 4 married couples living there besides. Was anyone injured in the... Nobody was injured in that. We heard this here coming, and it just sounded like, as they said, just a freight train, and we all got to the basement.
Yeah.
And...
I think I've only ever been... I don't know if I've ever actually witnessed a tornado. Maybe like once, but it was a very small one, like maybe an EF0 or an EF1.
Nobody was injured in it at all.
I do remember one touching down not too far from where I live, even if it was a small one. But even the smallest of tornadoes can do a lot of damage.
Well, do most of the homes here have basements in Blackwell? Well, quite a few of them. Now I have...
You never want to go out in Tornado Alley without a... You never want to build something without some sort of basement or a shelter.
A son that lives in the 400 block, his house completely...
I've never witnessed a hurricane. I don't live close enough to the coast.
...torn up, and he had a family of 3, and he and his wife in the basement.
I mean, maybe my family has, considering that they used to live down in Texas, and they can get hurricanes down there.
He just barely did make it to the basement when it demolished their house.
It's from the glass plant on east. Everything east of that is level, and the glass plant is gone. Those that are calling in, we only have one circuit, and we can't answer all the telephone calls. That's why they want to be sure that everybody understood it. They could wait, and some of these people will notify.
That classic mid-1800s, that when they all talk like this.
We will have it in tonight's papers, and it'll be on tonight's news, a complete list of everybody injured.
400 homes were completely destroyed, as well as 60 businesses, including important economic sites such as the Hazel Atlas glass plant. While the western part of the town was untouched, the eastern section near the river was wiped off the map. This newspaper showed the location of the fatalities.
Yeah, everything on one side got destroyed.
The tornado would later be given an F5 rating from Ted Fujita.
F5. That's powerful. F5, or nowadays it would be EF5, is very, very powerful.
The highest tornado rating possible.
Yeah.
With an estimated wind speed of over 260 miles per hour.
No, that's...
It remains one of the most powerful and tragic tornadoes in Oklahoma's history. But let's get back to that strange...
Yeah, they can reach upwards of 300 miles per hour, if I recall correctly.
While there have been more powerful tornadoes, more tragic tornadoes in the state's history, none of them have ever had some sort of strange blue glow to them. This is something that is completely unknown in meteorology.
And so no one has ever witnessed anything like this again?
So did it actually happen? Perhaps Mrs. Stolzberg was mistaken. Maybe she was just confused in the chaos. You might even think that she was making it up. Well, that's unlikely, as she wasn't the only person to see this strange.
Right, when multiple people witness pretty much the same event, it's more than likely that it actually happened.
In effect, to the west of the funnel, a Mr. Montgomery saw a similar astonishing sight when he went out on his front porch. He described it as being extremely bright, so bright that it had to be obscured by clouds in order to get a proper view. He described the event like this. As the storm was directly east of me, the fire up near the top of the funnel looked like a child's 4th of July pinwheel. There were rapidly rotating clouds passing in front of the top of the funnel. These clouds were illuminated only by the luminous band of light. The light would grow dim when these clouds were in front, and then it would grow bright again when I could see between the clouds. As near as I can explain, I would say that the light was the same color as an electric arc welder, but much brighter. The light was so intense that I had to look away when there were no clouds in front of it. The light in the clouds seemed to be turning at a rate similar to that of a beacon in a lighthouse. I mean, that's bright. If you have to look away, it's like looking at the sun. You know when like the clouds...
Okay, so
pass in front of the
even then...
sun and you get that like silver disc effect.
Oh, okay, so that's how he's describing it?
To him, that was the only way he could observe this super bright blue light. But to further solidify the claim that this tornado glowed in the dark, we actually have yet
So observations. Hunter, Lee, Blackwell, Oklahoma, May 1955. Orange color fire in the center.
Another eyewitness. Lee Hunter, who is 4 miles north of Blackwell, also saw the glowing tornado after it destroyed the eastern section of Blackwell. He described the tornado as follows. The funnel from the cloud to the ground was lit up. It was a steady, deep blue light. Very bright. It had an orange color fire in the center. As it came along...
Okay, so that's actually some new information. Like, that lady only remembered it being, like, blue. But this guy is also mentioning orange within the middle.
On my field, it took a swath of about 100 yards wide. As it swung from left to right, it looked like a giant neon tube in the air, or a flyman at a railroad crossing. As it swung along the ground level, the orange fire or electricity would gush out from the bottom of the funnel, and the updraft would take it up into the air, causing a terrific light. And then it was gone. Now, it's interesting that you mentioned an orange light, an orange glow to this tornado. Yeah. This is something that we'll talk about later.
I mean, that's how it kind of works with fire. Like, and then within the middle of the fire, or something like that. It's usually blue. Blue fire is usually much hotter than orange or red.
Shortly after
I'd imagine it might work on a similar principle, but I'm not sure.
Lee Hunter saw the tornado, it dissipated. Unfortunately, this same supercell thunderstorm would go on to produce another strong tornado that destroyed the city of Udall, Kansas.
Oh, no.
One of the worst, most tragic tornado events in Kansas history. So we have 3 accounts of this glowing ghost tornado, making it likely that something strange really did occur during the 1955 Blackwell tornado. By the way, all these various accounts come from a Journal of Meteorology article in 1997.
Correspondence.
In case you're looking for the source.
All
the
right.
only problem...
Source, it's not that I made it the fuck up, it's that all these other people probably made it the fuck up, except they probably didn't.
Why hasn't a similar phenomenon
Red fire, you know what I mean.
been seen since? Seriously, there are so many storm chasers right now. People have been heavily documenting tornadoes since the late 90s. So surely someone would have seen something similar. Well, to be fair, most storm chasers don't really chase tornadoes in the dark because you can't see them.
Yeah,
But
you
still,
wouldn't want to
people
do that
chase
anyway.
Nocturnal tornadoes. So have there been any other similar instances? Actually, kind of. And this time, we have a photo.
Oh, okay, so we have seen similar instances.
During the April 11th, 1965 Palm Sunday tornado outbreak, probably the 3rd worst tornado outbreak in the past 100 years. In fact, one could almost call it a super outbreak. But during that tornado outbreak, there were 18 F4 tornadoes that took the lives of 266 individuals as they tore through sections of the Midwest and Southeast. Some of the more notable tornadoes include the Dunlap, Indiana F4, the Midway, Indiana F4, with this
Oh yeah, these sometimes tornadoes, they come in pairs.
iconic photograph, and the Kokomo, Indiana F4. But another tornado, the Toledo, Ohio F4, apparently also featured strange lights and a glowing funnel.
Okay, let's see.
Just like with Blackwell 10 years earlier, this tornado also occurred at night around 9 p.m. According to a 1966 Science magazine article titled Luminous Phenomena in Nocturnal Tornadoes,
The twister came through here up high from southwest to northeast. And there was a hard wind. I was outside, suddenly there was no wind. My eardrums felt like they would burst. Very intense.
3 different observers saw a strange glowing phenomenon associated with the Toledo, Ohio F4, and one of them got a picture. Behold,
Oh, okay.
a photo of a glowing tornado.
It's kind of hard to tell. Where's the actual funnel, though? Unless it's 2 different funnels.
Okay, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I can't really tell what's going on.
Well, this photo was captured by a professional photographer named Jim Weyer. It was actually the second photo taken in a series of 3 photos at different angles. There's a lot of controversy around this photo, but it is legit.
Yeah.
In fact, it's even been featured in several official National Weather Service documents.
Okay.
Some
Well, if they are acknowledging that it's real, then it probably is real.
believe it's supposed to depict 2 twin funnels that are glowing in the dark, right
Yeah,
next
that's what it seems like, but it could also be that this part in the middle is the funnel.
to each other. Others believe that this central part is the actual tornado and that the sides are glowing. I am
Yeah.
personally in this camp because if you look towards the base of the tornado, you kind of see what appears to be debris coming from the main central
Yeah, I think that's the case.
funnel. Like, when you get dirt on the ground, that's what it kind of looks like to me. Now, Jim Weyer was a legit professional photographer.
All right.
There's no way that he altered this photo, and clearly he did capture something strange.
How would that even work back in I think it was the 60s that this was documented?
In fact, this photo was actually featured in Life magazine. The question is, was the tornado actually glowing or was it just illuminated by lightning? To me, it looks like it's kind of glowing because why would lightning create this spotlight effect?
Yeah, I've never seen any form of lightning that would do something like this.
I couldn't actually find a statement from Jim Weyer himself, but he wasn't the only person to see it that night.
Okay.
Another eyewitness of the glowing tornado, Marcella Benson, described the event like this. We thought we saw searchlights all around us, but there were no light beams shooting up to the clouds. The lights darting around in the clouds were sort of luminous and appeared to be more round in shape than anything else. Also, they were quite large. The lights were not as bright as a stroke of lightning, but they were above a dense layer of clouds, and bluish white in color. We did not have much stroke lightning, and I do not recall hearing thunder. Our electricity was knocked out at 9:32 p.m., and that is when we saw one black funnel. The reason we could see it is because there was a slight glow coming from the sides of it. It came from due west.
All right.
That last part of her statement, the reason we could see it is because there was a slight glow coming from the sides of it. Sounds
Yeah, because if you wouldn't be able to see it
a
otherwise.
lot like what Jim Weyer could have captured in his photograph. And that's exactly what it looks like. The other thing is that she mentions searchlights. she mentions light beams going up into the sky, which also kind of looks like this. By the way, there are at least 3 more accounts that I could find describing luminous phenomenon during this event. Although in all the recorded interviews from the time of the event that I watched, none of them ever reported or mentioned a glowing funnel.
Okay.
Did you hear anything before it hit? Any big sound, or did you see any black funnel?
I didn't see anything. We were inside the house, as I said, and I did see the front wall of the house coming at me, of course, when it let loose, but nothing outside. And as far as noise was concerned, we heard a roar.
Interestingly, one kid did describe hearing a buzzing sound. Could this buzzing sound be some sort of electrical phenomenon?
What happened?
Well, I heard this buzzing noise, and I said, what is that? And then the house blew over, and I was buried in the woods, and it fell on my chest.
The whole house just caved right in on top of you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did you see any black funnel that's usually associated with tornadoes?
No.
Just heard that big wind, is that it?
Yeah.
Just the
Thanks a
wind.
lot, young fella.
You're welcome.
So this specific event definitely adds to the credibility of the Blackwell tornado and glowing tornadoes in general. It just very much bothers me that there really hasn't been anything seen since. And cameras, like I said, are everywhere today. I mean, maybe it really is just that rare of a phenomenon. Maybe there are too many LED lights all over the place now, so we can't see it because it's just so faint.
Either that or there's too much AI that's being generated.
There is a lot of skeptics out there that don't believe the claims that these people truly saw a glowing tornado in
Well,
the
of
dark.
course there are.
But I want to believe. So how does such a phenomenon actually happen in nature? How
Well, if it happens, then it happened. But if it didn't happen, then it didn't happen. Simple as that.
can a tornado create a glowing effect? Well, let's get to the theories. The
Let's
first
go.
theory is that these reported sightings from both Toledo and Blackwell were actually just power flashes.
Power
I'm sure many of you
flashes.
are familiar with power
Oh, yeah. My avatar was in the way for that. Here, I'll show you guys.
from both Toledo and Blackwell were actually just power flashes. I'm sure many of you are familiar with
That.
power flashes, but these are bright blue explosions at the base of tornadoes.
And there was
They
another
occur
one.
when a tornado destroys some electrical
Oh, it was going to zoom in anyway, but you
infrastructure,
get the
such as a
idea.
transformer or power line.
Yeah, that's something that can happen.
These are very common. Like, they occur every few seconds when a tornado is tearing through an urban area. They are very brief, but they do sometimes feature several flickers that could, maybe make the event seem more dramatic than it is.
Yeah.
So was it a power flash? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing, because from what the lady and some of the other guys described, these lights seem to have stayed lit for an extended period of time.
The next theory is static electricity. This one's interesting. Perhaps tornadoes that exhibit electrical phenomena are in a very rare and specific atmospheric condition, an atmospheric condition that is favorable for static electricity. You know, when it's like wintertime and super dry out, and you're like super staticky all over because of just the atmosphere is very favorable for static electricity.
I don't know if I've ever felt like that. I feel more staticky because I'm wearing some warm sweatshirt or something. I didn't realize that it had to do with the cold air.
Maybe that's what happened with these tornadoes. Maybe they're just in an environment with a lot of dust particles, and those dust particles were smashing off of each other, building up a static charge.
I mean, that's sort of how lightning works, just in general, with regards to thunderstorms, but...
Then created a glowing effect that was faint, but still there. The final theory is kind of connected to static electricity, and that is that glowing tornadoes are caused by St. Elmo's fire. This is when small pointy objects can ionize the air, creating plasma. It is seen with ship masses out over water all the time. It's also seen with pointed church steeples. All you need is to
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before,
have like a
though.
pointed, sharp structure for it to occur. This theory is strengthened by the fact that there were many descriptions of St. Elmo's fire in Blackwell before the tornado occurred. So remember, tornado storms are massive, huge energy conductors. They have electrical charges everywhere. I mean, lightning, hello.
Yeah, right.
Electric.
I just made that point earlier.
Sometimes supercell thunderstorms are so electrically charged that you can get a strobe effect with lightning.
Yes, I think I've seen this many times. I remember just looking at like thunderstorms off in the distance, and then I just see lightning in rapid succession.
This is when there's just lightning almost constantly flashing
Yeah,
all
I've
around.
seen this more than once.
In theory, when a tornado descends towards the ground, it can act like a preferred conducting path, which in turn creates a strong electrical field. For this reason, it's possible that maybe some of the debris in the tornado, if it's shaped in like a pointy way, could create St. Elmo's fire. Like what if, and I'm just speculating, I'm kind of going off script a little bit here, but like what if the tornado hit like a needle factory and there's needles flying all around the that sounds awful.
No.
But just stay with me.
Wait. Oh, like a hay? We gotta find the hay in the needle stack.
All those needles can create St. Elmo's fire, giving it a glowing effect. This effect is usually blue, similar to what eyewitnesses claim to have seen. Wait, there was that glass factory that was destroyed. Wait a second. Hold on a second.
Oh, so we're getting some deep lore about a...
The Hazel Atlas Glass Company was a major glass manufacturer that created bottles that was destroyed during the Blackwell, Oklahoma tornado. Wait a second.
Oh, so maybe something at this factory caused it to glow?
Can glass create St. Elmo's fire?
Now, to be fair, I've never even heard of St. Elmo's fire. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh my.
Yes, glass can be a component in the creation or appearance of St. Elmo's fire.
It can't. Wait, okay. This is, I don't know why this is, I'm off the script, but think about it, all right? Glass can create St. Elmo's fire. You destroy a glass bottle company.
Top of Oklahoma Historical Society Museum.
Hello, broken glass is sharp. And then it like glowed in the air. Boom, we just solved it. Maybe not, I don't know. Let me know what you think.
I don't know. That might be convincing, but who knows?
Moving back on script, St. Elmo's fire can also create a red glowing effect. Like check out this video right here. See how there's red flashing as well with the St. Elmo's fire? Perhaps that's why some people noticed a flame effect. We know vortices
oh yeah, the one guy mentioned orange in the middle.
Can create electrical discharges. Dust devils have done it, blowing snow has done it, and believe it or not, we have even seen it on Mars with dust devils.
Oh yeah, no, we need to look at Martian dust devils too.
Recorded the sound of these little electrical charges. Take a listen.
NASA's Perseverance rover captures sounds of electrical discharge dust devil on Mars. Oh, the dust devils on Mars can get very, very tall, presumably due to the fact that Mars is smaller than Earth, and so its gravity is much less intense. Oh, there. You hear the crackling. I'm assuming that's the electrical discharge. Yes, there.
Now, some people believe that maybe ball lightning was involved. That's a little bit more far-fetched, although I will say that the possibility of ball lightning seems to be more and more likely as we see it more and more.
I've never seen ball lightning in real life. Like, I know what it is. I've seen, like, at least 1 or 2 pictures in a weather book that I once had, but I've never seen ball lightning in real life.
Footage. Maybe it was headlights. The Rolling Fork, Mississippi EF4 tornado featured something that looked kind of like headlights.
You see, according to Lightning McQueen, race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit. But then again, so was that one guy's brother, but he still needs headlights.
But that really wouldn't light up the entire tornado. One way you could actually 100% create a glowing tornado is if your tornado has radioactive debris in it. Highly radioactive particles do emit a blue glow because they're so radioactive that they tear apart atmospheric particles and molecules that they
that's how nuclear radiation works.
Give off a blue light. This blue glow can be seen in mushroom clouds. Check it out.
I see it right there. Yeah, no kidding. But I highly doubt that I don't know if this tornado ran into a nuclear facility though.
That is definitely not what happened in Blackwell, so we can scratch that theory off the list. So what is my personal theory? I'm thinking that it was a rare case of St. Elmo's fire. That glass factory idea just, I don't know, it kind of makes sense to me. I'm thinking that a glowing luminous phenomenon does occur very rarely in tornadoes, and I'm thinking that we're probably going to see some legit footage of it soon. But yes, that's just my theory. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.
I don't know. I'm having trouble putting thoughts into words, but I still enjoyed this video. So thank you for... So yeah, make sure you check out the original on your own time, preferably with your own commentary, because mine. This is like the second time in like it's been like 2-3 weeks since I couldn't talk for shit. I don't know what it is about Wednesdays. I just can't deal with it. Yes, I was just about to do that. Okay, yes, Lisa says, and there's a short, but we look at the Simpsons episode. Lisa saved the raccoon and became a star. Which of these should we look at? This top one's a short. There's like a 3-minute one, and then there's a 1-minute one, whichever one. I wouldn't want to look at this because I don't want to have to look at the whole video, but... here, let's look at this one. We might have to pause it every now and then so that we don't get copy claimed, but yeah. Lisa Simpson loves the good, the bad, and the Millhouse. I saw Simpson's theory down in the corner. Chlorine Dreams Indoor Water Park. How old is this episode? It's very quiet. This looks post-movie.
Final nail in the coffin of lakes and rivers.
Well, as a mother, we all know you're a mother. As a mother, I like that wherever I look, I can see a lifeguard.
Auto Man. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I forgot his name was Ralph for a moment. Okay. He's a leotard. Nice. Oh no, they've got. Wait, no, I need to run that back. Shit. No, oh no, they've got blood on the fucking ceiling. No, that's awful. Oh no, I don't think I could handle that. No thanks. Blow hole blast. Oh, I'll blow your hole. No, this is reminding me of the one scene where, what was it? I think they get rich or something, and then Bart and Lisa are riding on some dolphins, and then Bart mistakes the dolphin's blowhole for a cup holder, to which Lisa is all like, Bart, that's a blowhole, and then he said, I'll blow your hole, and then his dolphin starts sinking because it's literally choking. Dyson, oh, Dyson hair or Dyson products, nice. Little shrimp bee. I thought that said baby for a moment.
Oh my god, a plastic ring out of
Okay.
I want that ring.
Oh no. Aw, poor Homer.
Do you have any water slides for the gentleman of leisurely proportions?
Leisurely.
This pod specializes in extra-wide double reinforced.
Big and tall falls. You must be this wide to enter. You must be this wide to ride. Okay. Walrus grade lucite? Upstream extreme.
Awesome. Newhouse, how long you been waiting in line? You mean you didn't use the app last week to get your Slam and Salmon line number?
There's an app for this.
Are you Amish?
No. What year was this episode released?
Alright, time to thin out the herd.
It can't be that new because Marge's voice has yet to really go. Body hair.
Attention bathers, this is Water Park President Cal A. Bunga.
Let's go, Cal A. Bunga.
Panic, but the pools are infested with those tiny fish that swim up your wiener.
Oh, hell no.
Again, do not panic. If you think a wiener fish has entered your dingus, the only cure is to roll around naked in the snow.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God, that'd be so uncomfortable. Ah.
I need a big favor from you.
Oh, hell no.
Man, they don't train you for this at the academy. Why they should?
Okay, and what happened to him? Also that he wouldn't have to wait in line. Oh, and there it is.
Oh dear God! Bio breach!
Rambunctious tot. Oh no. Boozy Australian. I don't know what. Meth mom? Is that even a thing?
That poor raccoon! Isn't anyone gonna do anything?
He committed nature's greatest crime. Coming inside.
No heartbeat. Finally a chance to use my online CPR training.
Online, huh? Are you certified? The hell is that?
Lisa has a boyfriend.
Oh, someone's recording this with their phone.
Lisa has a boyfriend.
Okay, hear it.
A boyfriend? And raccoons are such good providers. Come on.
They're solitary. We're solitary, which means we kind of just do our own thing.
You have so much more trash to
Yet the mom, yeah, our mamas, they give birth to us, they take care of us, and then we're on our own.
steal one more breath, noble bandit.
Ow. Why would you hit me like that, Lisa?
I saved you. My first rescue and my first real kiss.
Aw.
She'd have chosen me if I was wearing a real bathing suit.
rental, and it's not even his. Okay, that was cute. What was the thing that I was going to look at earlier? There was something that I had in my head that I was going to look at, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe if I backtrack a little bit. No, I can't. I'm so tired right now, but we're still, we're in this until I can't do it anymore. Oh, that's right. I said that I was going to look at storm chasing videos so that we could point out all of the storms and stuff. But I actually do want to look at this video by someone named Arnie Tex about yeah. Have I ever tried raccoon meat? No, and I have no interest. Thank you very much. But I wanted to look at this video caught, at least the slap on the face got the water out. Yeah, I know, but at least his character's been flanderized from what I could tell. This video kind of caught my eye about cooked breakfast a la Mexicana, the best Mexican restaurants. Huevos, papas, and I wanted to wait until Rhodey would join the stream, given that he's from Mexico and I'm only like half Mexican, but who knows? I might actually save this for another time. There's also, I don't know what to look at. I kind of wanted to look at this video just for fun. Hungary, Estonia, and Finland. Can Uralic language speakers understand each other? Because Hungarian, Finnish, and Estonian are all related to each other. Although Hungarian is more distant compared to the other two. And then there's a whole bunch of others that just exist within Russia because that's just a thing. But no, I actually want to save one of these videos for the next time Rhodey is available, because I'm sure he would be able to really comment on this. But let's go ahead and at least try to check this out, and I'll at least attempt to notice any similarities or differences between them.
Did you catch anything different?
Absolutely nothing. I think Hungarian is very different.
Too far.
Yeah, too far.
Yes, too far. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi.
I have had experiences with both of you guys' language. Obviously Finnish because we're so close, but in schools when we are taught about our language family.
Oh, you guys are actually taught about that stuff? We're never taught about that kind of stuff in school. We are taught other things. I had to teach myself about that kind of thing.
We also learn a bit about Hungarian, Finnish, and then like Mari and Karja. But I never actually.
There's a whole bunch of the Finnish, Estonian, and Hungarian are the only ones that have like countries, or at least they have like, yeah. Dang it. There's too many things going on in my mind right now, and so I apologize. Like trying to read chat while also talking about this at the same time. Yeah, there's like other languages like Kanti, Mansi, then there's the Samoyedic language, and then there's a whole bunch of others that just exist in Russia.
We had like chance.
But Estonia, Finland, and Hungary are the only ones that are like actual countries. Most of the others are just autonomous regions in Russia.
To hear a long speech from someone Hungarian, so that will be a new experience, hopefully.
I have similar answer. First of all, we are located very close.
Yes, right next to each other. Estonia wants to be considered Nordic, like very badly, and it's mostly because Estonia and Finland are basically sister nations, but Estonia is usually considered a Baltic nation because it's right next to the Baltic Sea, along with Latvia and Lithuania.
Closely to each other, and I've been to Estonia so many times. Of course, I've been listening and hearing the Estonian language in Estonia.
I don't really know how similar or different that they are. I just know that I'd imagine it's similar to like the difference between Danish and Swedish or Norwegian.
I was visiting it, but Hungarian, like I don't think I've been connected anyhow to Hungary or your language.
Hungary is like very distant, like all the way in like East Central Europe, and they broke off from the rest of their Uralic kin like a long time ago when they usually think of themselves as extensions of the Huns, who are like the various confederations of tribes that existed across the Central Eurasian steppe.
Before, and I also haven't heard, but at the same time, I'm from Eastern Finland, and we have also nationality called Karjala.
Karjala, yes, I know about the I know about the Karelians. The Karelians are a Finnic type group that lives like adjacent to Finland in Russia. There is an autonomous community, or like it's either an autonomous republic or it's something like that. That's just called Karelia, and now unfortunately Russians outnumber ethnic Karelians in Karelia, but they still exist. All right, thank you, Chadi, if I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for joining, even just for a little bit. Take care.
Karelians there, so I know a little bit.
Yeah, but Karelians, Russians outnumber Karelians in Karelia, which I'm pretty sure you could say the same thing for other autonomous regions in Russia.
Bit of that one, which is also part of Finno-Ugric languages.
Yeah. You've been mumbling Bart's quote.
Rally.
Lisa has a boyfriend.
For this video, like 5 minutes ago, I looked it up a little bit because I heard previously about Mansi and I think the Khanty language.
Yes, Mansi and Khanty. Yes, those are some other Uralic languages.
Not language, sorry, like maybe origins. I might be wrong about this, but the Mansi is called the Vogel, and what you said, the Kari, what was that?
Karjala.
Karjala.
So supposedly that one would be another branch of it. The Finnish and the Estonian language.
Yeah, I know like most of the branches of Uralic. I know that Samoyed broke off from the rest of the Uralic languages very early on. And then, the two main branches are, Samoyedic and Finno-Ugric. Finno-Ugric contains most of them, and then that subdivides into Finnic, Hungarian, then there's Khanty Mansi, and then there's several others that exist as well. I'd have to refresh myself on the Uralic languages.
Is here, and then the Hungarian language is here, and the Finnish and Estonian is like here with the Karjala, and we have above that the Mansi and I think the Khanty, so like the Vogel, and then it comes to the very source.
Yeah, I guess it goes to Siberia.
Maybe.
I feel like other Greek tribes are somewhere in very north, like
the Sami as well. There's also the Sami that exists within the very north of Scandinavia.
Also Sami, North Asia.
Yeah, in Asia actually, but they do connect us to like Mongolia.
Yeah, the Hungarians kind of pride themselves on their sort of Hun-based roots, even though it's not quite as like cut and dry as it could be.
But in Europe, they don't really like to talk about it, or like a lot of people, I don't know why, maybe because it's not completely proved, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think the science is still like trying to figure it out.
No, I think I remember watching a video about it when like when the people of Hungary found out that they were of linguistic and cultural relation to the people of Finland and Estonia. They were certainly shocked I think they may have been like astonished or shocked, to say the least, because they were told that yes, we came from like Turks and Mongols and people of that nature. Granted, there's definitely some truth to that, whatever kind of extended interactions that their ancestors may have had with Turks and Mongols, but they're still Uralic at the end of the day.
It's such a small and like unique language family.
Right.
There's like new discoveries all the time, which makes it fun.
Yes, I find this kind of stuff fascinating.
Absolutely not. Maybe
Do they
a little.
Like I'd imagine that the relationship between Hungarian and Finnish would be like between that of English and Spanish. They're both English and Spanish are both related to each other, being Indo-European, but they're still very, very different from each other. Like there are some obvious points of similarity, like madre and mother, and padre and father, and like one and uno, two and dos, those types of words. But when it comes to comparing something like a dog with perro obviously that's going to be very different.
Wait, you guys?
Yeah, my faith lies in Finnish, but I think really depending on the word.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
I could get
We need to do a video where we can compare Germanic languages and see if I can understand them as an English speaker.
some of your contexts.
Oh.
I hope so. I mean, I have high hopes for myself, but I feel like with Finnish, there's a chance that you understand really well, but there's also like these like trick words where we both use the word, but the meaning is different in countries, and it can like...
Oh yeah, that's something that also happens a lot too. Like even within languages, you'll have one word that means one thing within like the US, but then it means something different in like the UK. So even then there's enough difference to justify that kind of thing.
Totally spin the thing around, but other than that, I'm quite confident.
The closest language to Finnish is Karelian, but after that comes Estonian. And I do believe that we have some similarities and I can understand you guys, but once again, I think
Hungarian is very different.
Hungarian is very different.
Too far.
Yeah, too far.
Yeah, they've had more than enough time to develop their own unique features.
Tere! Minu nimi on Adu Melania, välismaal ma kasutan oma nime Melania. Ma olen Eestist pärit, minu kodulinn on Tallinn. Ma olen 21-aastane ja ma olen Koreas elanud 2 aastat.
Okay, I have no idea what she said. I'd probably have an easier time understanding Spanish.
You didn't understand it?
I mean, I actually understood you.
All right.
So I understood that your name is Melania, but your parents or somebody calls you differently?
Yeah, so I said that my name is Adu Melania, but
Melania.
Abroad I use the name Melanie.
Melody.
Okay, sorry, I forgot
Okay, I figured that she was going to say that people call her Melanie.
what you said, but I think you said where you're from. 21 years old. You've been for some time here in Korea. I don't remember.
In Korea, huh?
What was the number?
I mean, you have like, there's this concept called Turanism or Pan-Turanism, where people will link the Uralic, Turkic, Mongolic, Tungusic, Japonic, and Koreanic languages as one large macro family that hasn't really been proven to exist. I mean, there are ideas that Turkic, Mongolic, and Tungusic are related to each other. But when linguists tried to reconstruct their respective proto-languages, they found that there were more differences than similarities, and that any similarities were mostly just due to proximity.
But you said some kind of time duration.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then Sid Skinner, yes.
What I could have guessed, just because you mentioned your name, but then you mentioned your name again, just in a different way. So I was like, okay, that was like, hi, my name is da-da-da-da-da. But either somebody calls me like that, or would have guessed your friends, and they call you differently, and then I didn't understand anything until you said Korea.
Until you said,
I'm like,
I didn't hear Korea at all.
Cool.
Cool.
Maybe you're gonna
Let's
say
go.
You've been in Korea for I don't know how many years, but nothing else. I just heard her name twice and Korea.
I think it's still good, yeah. So I said that my name is Melanie. Melanie is what I use abroad, and I'm from Estonia. My home city is Tallinn, and I've been living in Korea for 2 years.
Okay.
I wonder what else we've got here. Are we gonna get some vocab words?
Like more details, but you still got the like important stuff, you know, like the name and Korea, you know.
In Korea.
Moi, mun nimi on Lada. Mä oon 24-vuotias, kotoisin Joensuusta ja mä oon asunut täällä Seoulissa, Etelä-Koreassa.
Salvista. I think I recognize that word. The only Finnish that I know is the Yevon polka that is usually associated with Hatsune Miku, but Hatsune Miku doesn't actually sing the song. She just sings the scat that's in the middle.
4 vuotta ja mä oon naimisissa korealaisen kanssa ja asun täällä pysyvästi.
Okay,
I kind of recognize that from the song.
All right.
So what I got was you told us your name, you're 24.
Yes.
And then I think maybe you mentioned the area you're from.
Yeah.
And then you said about like Korea. I think you mentioned
So they're all like...
you're married.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the rest of it was just words.
The rest of it is words. Yeah, something that can happen when it comes to languages is that sometimes you'll have two closely related yet different languages. Like speakers of one language can have an easier time understanding the speakers of another, but then that other can have a hard time understanding that of the one. I think that's how it sometimes works with some of the Scandinavian languages. I know that's how it works between North Macedonian and Bulgarian. Bulgarians have an easy time understanding North Macedonians, but North Macedonians have a hard time understanding Bulgarians.
Oh, well, you got it, you got it.
Did you catch anything different?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
The only thing I guess, because it's the very beginning, right? So I guess it's greetings, my name is Leda. That was the only thing,
Alright.
because I knew this is going to be an introduction. And
Okay, so just based on your memory alone.
that is just, you know, when there's a font type your computer cannot recognize, and there are just like this
Oh, I know what she's talking about, yes.
signs and these symbols and
That's how it works. Whenever I see like a Zelda speedrunner playing like the Japanese virtual console versions of like Ocarina of Time, and usually there's that message that reads that says that you will need the classic controller. Yeah, if you're trying to play a Japanese version of it on an English Wii, it's just going to come up with a bunch of random symbols.
everything and lots of question marks. That was in my head. Absolutely nothing.
Also, I was thinking to say instead of moi, terve, which
Terve.
is like tere, like it means health.
Health.
Oh, yeah. Dera is like,
Dere.
yeah, like it could be like health, it could be mean like whole.
That's actually how the Semitic root of salam and shalom works. Because it usually means peace, like when someone says shalom or salam, it usually means peace. But the root, the three consonant root of that word, the sin, lamed, mim, or SLM, or SHLM, can also have like alternative meanings of like health, wholeness, and safety and that kind of thing. So it seems to work in a similar way.
Like something that's whole. So what did you say?
Terve.
Terve.
We use that too, but me personally, I don't use it that much. I
You hit the microphone, you could hear that.
just rather to say moi, which is easy,
Moi.
or hey, which is
Hey.
like comes from English, I guess.
And what was it that you said in Finnish, like your introduction? Was there anything we missed?
You got everything right, but I think the only thing you didn't mention is that I lived here for 4 years.
Lived for 4 years.
Okay, that,
I forgot Bart's saying. Okay.
that's what I...
If you're wondering why I'm not reading your message out loud, Brett, it's because it doesn't really have anything to do with this video.
Lost.
But you can talk about The Simpsons if you want.
Sziasztok, Sába
Sziasztok.
vagyok, és Magyarországról jöttem.
Szagról jöttem.
Ez a 11. évem korában, és van egy cicám, aki csak...
It even sounds different, like the way that it's intonated.
Mellett.
Oh my god, the look on her face. She's like, wait, what are you saying? Oh my god, that's priceless. Even her, she's all like, yeah, I don't understand a word she's saying. This would be me if I tried to listen to a Russian speaker.
Most mondok. Oké, nem tudom, hogy mit mondjak még, fogalmam sincs, bocsánat.
Yeah, thank you for your understanding, Brett. I'm done. Okay.
Honestly, I think to me it sounded like Romanian.
It did sound vaguely Romanian. It has that Eastern European kind of feel. I'd imagine that there's a decent amount of Slavic influence in there.
What?
Всем привет.
I don't know.
Which part?
I mean, Romanian is a romance language, so
I mean, maybe that kind of
that's a Slavic kind of thing more than anything else.
That part.
that part.
I think you spoke fast, but at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point I would like guess like, oh, okay, yeah, it does sound from the same language family.
Yeah, I can. Like, if you give me an example sentence in something, I could probably figure out what family it is.
But at some point,
But I'd probably butcher it anyway.
it like
Because I'm not really that familiar with that many languages, but I could definitely identify some of them for sure.
really got like some like Russian-based language.
Right.
with
Yeah,
it.
I was also thinking
Like,
about
but
that.
I like again the only thing I registered was like Korea.
Korea.
Like even
I couldn't hear Korea in any of them. They were speaking
like
quite
trying
fast.
to kind of find where you like say it, hello, my name is. I was like, I can't register that. Like it's wow. I never actually heard like someone speak Hungarian. I've tried to read it, but like hearing it, it's
Yeah.
quite
And that's another thing. Sometimes the written form of a language is easier to understand than the spoken form. Even when it comes to like trying to understand, even when it comes to like if they're like closely related. Like if you're Italian, you'll most likely have an easier time reading Portuguese than actually hearing it, because Portuguese sounds very different from Italian, especially European Portuguese, which is described as a drunk Russian attempting to speak Spanish. But I do know someone who is Italian that has a much easier time understanding Brazilian Portuguese than they do European.
Different from us, I think.
I have to say sorry because halfway I just ran out of generic information that I can say quickly without having to think about it and not
Which food is Italian? There's quite a few foods that are Italian.
putting out too much personal information.
Like social security.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I just started saying like, first I said that, hi, my name is Shabab. I didn't.
Shaba. Yeah. If you notice, she said Shaba rather than Suppa in. Please upload tomorrow. Okay, we'll see what. Oh my god, what am I going to do?
Say it like this. I said, hi, I'm Shaba. I'm from.
I didn't.
From Hungary.
I'll
I've been living in
give me a
Korea for
moment.
11 years. And then I said, I have a cat named Shani. And then I completely forgot.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. She said Shaba because in the Hungarian language, the letter S is just a sh sound.
What to say next, so I just said, but anyways, probably they're not going to understand anything of what I'm saying right now. And I started to think like what else to say, but yeah, I really have no idea, I'm so sorry. That's what I said.
No, but it was very interesting listening to your language.
I just lost it.
You just lost. Okay, now here's some vocab words. I could clip this reaction and upload it tomorrow, but I'd have to do it like before I go to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We say yks, kaks,
Yks,
kolm, neli,
kolm, neli,
viis.
We
viis.
say
She didn't pronounce that L-O.
yksi, kaksi, kolme, neljä,
Yksi, kaksi, kolme, neljä,
viisi.
viisi.
We say egy, kettő, három,
Et, ketty, harm,
négy, öt.
ne, ut.
Okay, completely.
Okay, well then, those are... Let me... Elux. Yeah, 2 is similar, 3 is similar, 4 is similar, and 5 is also. 1 looks very different. Elux. But then... What was the Hungarian? Those are very different. Usually numbers tend to be very similar to each other across an entire language family, but this is... No, that's very different. Where exactly did they get those?
Say egy, kettő, három, négy, öt.
Okay, completely different.
Yeah, you're out of the group.
What do the other Uralic languages
I
sound?
think Estonian sounds a little bit like dialect, because if I would say those numbers in dialect, I would say yks, kaks, kolme, neljä, viisi.
Yeah, I think like to us, how you read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of sounds like if you're a child and you're like trying to be playful. So you add like
syllables at the end.
Like yksi, kaksi, kolme, neljä, viisi. Like you're kind of like singing it, not to like say anything bad about your language.
I think it's
that's just
charming.
kind of what it feels like. For your, like, how did you say 1 again?
Egy.
Egg.
Sounds like Swedish.
Yeah.
What is the Swedish word for 1? I'd imagine it's very similar to the English one.
It's like ett, två.
Oh, ett, två, 3, 4, 5. Is the Swedish word for the number 1 really ett? Because these other ones, they definitely look like they would be like 2, the TVO, that's similar to English TWO. And then this 3, 4, yeah, 5.
3, 4, 5.
But it's very interesting
4,
because
5.
usually like the numbers, at least the first few, are quite similar.
That's how it usually is.
Yeah. So I'm quite surprised that it's like so different.
Like the only thing that I could find as a common point is that maybe how sharp they sound. Because we also do like egy, kettő,
Egg, kettu,
When you start, it's like that's the only thing I can think about. But then again, there are no other countries to compare them to. So.
But yeah, I think you might be right. Like the rhythm is also like big part of like how the languages are. So we say tal.
We say talvi.
Talvi.
At least this one. Cool. Thank you. We say tail.
Dale. Okay, so these are pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, those are quite similar.
In Estonian, it means like to be on the way or on the road.
So
On
when
the
you're
road.
tailing somebody.
Oh.
If someone calls you like,
Yeah, pizza is Italian.
where are you? And like,
Although the concept of putting toppings on bread is much older than that.
oh, ma olen teel. Oh, I'm on my way.
Dale.
Is it Dale or tail?
Dale or Dale?
Teel.
Dale.
Because like Dale, that would mean like noon or like south.
Teillä
Teillä.
means in Finnish like at your place.
Yeah, we do
At
have
your place.
similarities after all. In Estonian, we
So it's sugar and salt.
say suhkur.
Suhkur. That's obviously a loan word. I think the word sugar is Romance derived.
Ja sool.
Ja sol. Yeah.
It is
Yeah, let me
after
try.
all.
We're gonna do this together. Suhkur.
Then we say suhkur.
Suhkur.
Ja sool.
Ja sol. I think those might be loan words.
In Finnish we say sokeri.
Sokeri ja suola. Okay, yeah, sokeri. I mean, it still has the similar consonant root, and then this one has a little extra w. I'm guessing ya means and.
Ja suola.
So you guys are saying and, right?
Yes.
In Hungarian,
Say chukor.
we say cukor
Cukor es so.
e show.
Es so.
Well, I think salt is like sool.
No, the words for sugar all seem to be the same,
It's
which is to be expected, I guess.
Kind of.
Salt.
Sol, sol, swola, sol. Yeah, those all pretty. Yeah, out of all the words to have in common, it had to be something like this.
And sugar.
Not the numbers, but seasonings
There
and
was
spices.
Sokeri.
Sokeri.
Yeah.
Sokor. Yeah, those are all. You can tell those are all variations of the word sugar itself.
Suhkur.
Yeah,
So
I think it might derive from like sucrose.
here we're more similar. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. So in Estonian, we say
Oh, silm.
silm.
Silm. You like salt on fries? Well, yeah, it's fries. You would expect to put salt on them. Instead, we say silm.
In Finnish we say silmä.
Silmä. The way that they're pronouncing this L, they seem to be adding just another syllable to it.
In Hungarian, we say
Sim. Okay, so all of these are very similar. Only Hungarian is missing that L.
Sam.
Sem.
At least that one.
That's sim-
Yeah, Hungarian is missing the L there.
So for nose,
Say Nina.
in Estonian, we say nina.
Nina.
In Finnish we say nenä.
Nena.
In Hungarian, we say or.
Or. Of course, and here's the point of difference.
It's like
Or.
O-R-R. Or.
That means you gotta trill it. That's how it works in Spanish. The way that the trilled r works in Spanish is that you either trill the letter R at the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word. If there's two R's, then you trill it.
Or. That's interesting. For mouth, in Estonian, we say suu.
Suu.
In Finnish we say suu.
Suu.
In Hungarian, we say sai.
Sai. Pretty similar, only one vowel of difference.
Still like starts with S.
Yeah.
At least, honestly, for nose, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the English. In slang, or if you want to say it in a cute way.
In a
say
cute way.
nosy.
Nosy.
In Estonian, we say tuli.
Tuli.
In Finnish we say tuli.
Tuli.
In Hungarian, we say tűz.
Tűz.
Tűz. Oh.
Tűz. It's still similar, but there's just, once again, it's another
Okay.
Another difference in the
this is,
consonant.
Like really similar.
What did you say again?
Tuli.
Tuli. Like tulip.
Yeah, so tuli, but it's a word that has like two meanings. So tuli can also be like, oh, someone came.
Someone
like,
came
to
up-
come is like tulan.
I would say
Tulan.
that the way we write is exactly the same,
Right.
but maybe the way that we pronounce is just a slightly different.
I think like if a third person were to listen, they might not catch it. But I think at least for me, it kind of sounds like an American person who has learned Estonian and then pronounces it, which is like, it's correct, but
It's
there's some sort
correct.
of like accent behind it. But I'm surprised it's so close. I was thinking there would
Are there any more vocab words we're gonna get? Let me see what the rest of this video looks like.
be like some like letters added to it or something, but really close.
Actually, Estonian sounds very soft because I guess Finnish is a little bit more rough. The way you say L and I together.
Yeah, you love seasoned fries, yeah.
Li.
It's kind of hard to find good potato wedges
We
though.
say li. We say li.
Li. So they elongate the letter L.
Yeah, that's where
They almost make it vowel-like.
accent vibe comes.
Tuli.
Tuli.
Tulli.
For hands, in
Han, okay.
Estonian we say käsi.
Käsi.
In Finnish, we say käsi.
Käsi.
Very nice find. In Hungary, we say keys.
Käs.
Okay. Once again, the
Okay.
I, S, and I, it's just E.
Yeah.
Very softly, like E.
I feel like
E.
maybe we
Okay, one.
say it more out and you kind of like make the noise more in your mouth. Can you say it one more time?
Käsi.
Käsi.
It feels like you're holding your tongue
Yeah, käsi.
back, like käsi.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
we say käsi.
Yeah, that little A with the double dots is pronounced like the A in cat. So, käsi.
To me, it sounds a little bit like Russian because I know that Russian language has the same vowels like
Si.
but
Sim привет.
in Finnish we just say si.
Si.
Somehow like lower. You say it somehow.
Like up and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really connecting the dots here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How about Hungarian?
Keys, keys.
Keys.
It's like K-E-Z.
Keys.
Z, but on the E, there is an acute.
Okay.
Along it.
Yes, that in Hungarian, the way it works is that it's basically a long vowel, so it's gaze.
It's like the first one, like käsi.
Gaze.
Easy, that would mean like something done by hand.
Something
Like,
done by hand rather than just hand itself.
for example, let's say handball, that would be Casey Labda.
Gazy labda.
Labda means bow, Casey means like done by
Gazy.
Yeah, we have like käsi töö,
Gaisi tu.
means like handmade. So it's also like similar like to something done with hand.
You know, it also sounds a little bit like Casey, which
Gesit.
means like to make
To
something.
make something. Oh, I get it.
Oh,
Casey,
Gesit.
that would be maker.
see, we're connecting
Okay. Yes, that's generally. I think. No, I think Semitic languages like Arabic work in a similar way. Like the Arabic word for book is kitab, but depending on how you arrange the consonants, it can modulate to the meaning to be something like to write, or to be like an author, or to make a library or something like that.
dots here.
So they're all like interconnected in that way.
In Estonian,
I think I mentioned that with regards to the word salam as well.
we say vesi.
Vesi.
In Finnish we say vesi.
Vesi. That actually kind of looks like the word water when you think about it. Like the German word for water is Wasser, but vis.
In Hungarian, we say vis.
Vis. Yeah, pretty much the
Yeah,
same.
I feel like the basics are kind of similar.
Right.
Which is the most
Yeah, for some reason the numbers are very different.
important, right? That's how you know that we're not just borrowing those words. I mean,
Right.
It's not like if I go to Estonia and I hear vesi, I still wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, it's just that much different that you wouldn't be able to. Like, I'd imagine you could argue the same thing with the... Well, you probably could argue the same thing with words like father and like... and padre, but yeah.
At least.
If you're thirsty enough, you will understand it. In Estonian, we say
To go.
minema.
Minema.
Finnish we would say mennä.
Menna.
I was kind of like, no way, really? So in Hungary, we say menni.
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 Minema.
Minema. Menna. Menni.
To go is minema, but if you say like you go, then it's mina.
Mina.
Don't you have different suffixes based on the person or like?
We like change everything so much.
That kind of sounds like Hungarian itself. Hungarian is what's known as an agglutinative language, which means you have a base word and then you just add prefixes and suffixes as needed.
If it's like, yeah, it's based on like who is doing it, but it's also like, how do we even explain it? There's a different way for everything. Go, I would just say like mina.
Minä.
as a like an order. There's like, yeah, so if it's an order or if you doing it or it's all different. So in Estonian we say tule.
Tule.
In Finnish we would say tulla.
In
Tulla.
Hungarian we say jönni.
Jönni.
So again,
Okay, so that one's very different.
and like as I mentioned before with fire, tule, it could be like come, but
You
you could
come.
also say like fires.
Fire.
Like if you say fire, but in the form of like owning, then it's tule.
We
Tulla.
don't have more meaning for this, it's just jönni.
In
Jönni.
Estonian, jonni or like jonni, it means to be like fussy. As a
Yes.
child, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Then it's like
Jonnima.
Do you have anything that would be similar to jere?
In Estonian, we
Okay, to see is nägema.
say nägema.
Nägema.
In Finnish we would say nähdä.
Nähdä. Okay, that one's very different.
In Hungarian we say látni or
Latni.
nézni.
Nézni.
Nézni is more like to watch something, witnessing something, just like seeing something is látni.
But the
Okay, so they have different terms for it.
second one is quite similar. Like, what was it again?
Nézni.
Nézni.
But nézni is exactly like you are doing the action of watching something actively. More like watching football. Then you are nézni.
Estonian is very similar. Hungarian, I was actually surprised
Right.
we had some similarities.
Yeah, so some basic vocab words that, I mean, with words like water and hand, those would be obvious because obviously in prehistoric times you'd be working with water in your hands like all the time, so it would only make sense that they would have those types of words in common.
Keys because there was time, like previously I have read from some kind of book or I don't remember, was it internet, that Hungarian is very, very, very different from Finnish.
Yes,
and the
I've
only
noticed.
connection that we have is just how we build the sentences.
Right.
Maybe that too. I don't.
Yeah, because I know that word order is also very important when it comes to language relations, although there are plenty of exceptions to that kind of thing.
No. But I was surprised that Finnish had words that sound the same, might mean something different, or also just like sound the same, are the same. But I was very surprised that we have those, and I think that's like the most fun, you know, in the language families. If there's something that sounds the same but is a different meaning, I always find it like so interesting to figure out where the meaning go, you know. In Finnish, linna or something
Linna.
means a castle, right? And in Estonian, it means city.
Oh, no, that's something that does also happen in many languages. Like, so two words could have the same root in terms of like their ancestral proto-language, but then that root diverges depending on the language. Like the English word camp is related to the German word Kampf, but in English, we know what a camp is. It's a place where people go like in the outdoors or you set up tents and stuff. Whereas in German, it means struggle.
And it makes sense because like the city, the castle,
Yes.
like from the old time.
Because I think the rationale with regards to that is that camping can be a struggle if you're not prepared for it.
Or like
Raamattu.
Raamattu.
It's like Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to us it means book.
Oh, yes.
And then you think like,
Oh, yeah, that actually reminds me of how it works in Arabic too. Like the word kitab means book, but it can also mean scripture specifically.
oh, what book did people use? The Bible. I think it's really fun like that. So I didn't know Hungarian had that as well.
I don't think we have many that would still sound similar, but very thankfully
You stayed in a dorm, it was also a log house.
in this collection of words, there were some those are like, oh, that's really just a little bit similar, but way more similar than you would expect it since we're so far from each other. It's still really good to compare these.
Yeah, I feel like Estonia and Finland, like the languages are kind of like siblings.
Yeah,
And
but then Hungarian is more like a cousin.
Hungarian is like a
Yeah, that's a
distant
good way
cousin.
to describe it. Like, yeah, English, German, Dutch, and Swedish, Norwegian, we're all siblings. But Spanish, French, Italian, Russian, Hindi, Persian, all of those are our cousins.
You know?
Yeah. It's like it's the
And Hindi is a very, very distant cousin.
same tree, but you guys are on that end. of the
Yes.
sand.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
We compared 3 Uralic languages.
Now, if we could only get some of the more minority languages.
Like this.
No, I like this video. I had a lot of fun with it, in all honesty. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. That one guy said that they wanted me to upload tomorrow, even though I literally don't have a video prepared. I was very tired yesterday, and I just wanted to relax. So I didn't really have any video planned. I mean, I don't even exactly know what I would clip. Because if I do decide to make a video for tomorrow, it's going to just be unedited. It's just going to be the clip, and then you're going to have to deal with all the downtime that I usually remove from them. So, yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd have to get up early. And I really, really, really don't feel like doing that. But, alright, I think that's going to be it for tonight's stream. Oh my god, I was too tired today because of course I was. Yeah, I didn't have a very good DDR session yesterday, so... Yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. I don't want to overstay my welcome with regards to something like this. Yeah, you gotta... Yeah, hopefully you don't... Have sweet dreams, everybody. Try not to get any nightmares while I'm gone. I will be back Friday for... It depends on whether or not... I decide to partake in something that I've been meaning to. I guess we'll see whether or not I'm actually able to commit to it, or whether or not I decide that. And if you know, all I can say is that if you know, you know. But we'll see. I might, like, usually it would be the DDR stream followed by some other game, but we'll see how I fare. So, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys then. Take care.